Oh yeah. Is it Tuesday already? Do we have yet another time to predict yet another episode of The Bad Batch? Guys, we got to take advantage of this because there's only 3 more of these left, and then the show is over forever. But we got a very fun stream today. We got to predict a lot of stuff going on in this Bad Batch 13th episode, as again, like I just said, we only have 3 episodes left. Only 3 episodes left, so let's talk about all of it. What's up, guys? It's Mike. What's my name? Oh, a guy who loves... What is it called? Star Wars. So, yeah. Okay, so we got a big, fun stream today. Predictions for the Bad Batch upcoming episode tonight, of course, episode 13, Into the Breach. Can we trust Admiral Rampart? Can we not trust him? Who's going to show up? How are we actually going to find this location of Mount Tantiss? Are we going to learn more about Omega and how important she is? Are we going to learn more about freaking Dr. Hemlock because we know nothing about the guy? And what else is going down tonight? We also have some other news regarding Star Wars Outlaws, the Acolyte, and even something else. I don't know what it is, but let me double check. What is this one? What is that? Oh yeah, and then a Fortnite Star Wars collab thing. That we'll talk about all of it, but we're going to talk mostly of today about the Bad Batch episode 13 that's coming out in just a few short 13 hours from now. 13 hours from now is the Bad Batch episode 13. So, the title is Into the Breach. And what I want you guys to do as you come in and say hi in the chat, drop your craziest, and I mean craziest predictions for this 13th episode, because let's be honest, guys, there's nothing too crazy at this point. Palpatine returned. He returned again in the Bad Batch. Last episode, we just broke Rampart out of prison. If anybody predicted that 2 weeks ago, I would have been like, ha, you're an idiot. But here we are today. Rampart is freed. And now we're talking about how can he be trusted or not. So drop your craziest prediction in the chat. Let me say hi to everybody, as we always do to start these streams. Maggie, what's up? Navarro, how we doing? Alex, what is up? Soul, what is up? Skywalker Academy, how we doing? Tony in the building. Starship 66, what is up? Zap, how we doing? Zap, it really made me laugh when I said, who's your favorite character? And you said Max Rebo. I was sitting here before the stream started, and I was just dying laughing. It was very funny. Fearless, what's up? Mace Cameron, how we doing? Rose in the house. Mr. Beckham, what's up? Nick, how we doing? Maggie, I already said that. Brandon Baker, what is up? Officer Murdoch, Mando United, Nick, Charlotte. Did I miss anybody? John Groom, what's up? Okay, I think I hit everybody. I think we got it. Lord Chopper will return. That would be kind of cool. That would involve Harrison Dula also being involved as well. Okay. I think I hit everybody. If I didn't say your name, please just scream at me. Rem, what is up? Okay. All right. Let's dive into some predictions, okay? Let's start the stream with some predictions. We'll obviously end the stream with some predictions, but here's what I think. Let's talk about why we're all here. What I think. It's all about me. Just kidding. So episode 13. Episode 13 is called Into the Breach. Into the Breach. Ooh, Fearless with the the 1 month membership. Into the Breach. What does Into the Breach mean? Well, Into the Breach, we've talked about, it's Shakespeare, it's Henry V, whatever it may be. But Into the Breach, I believe, is probably talking about the Bad Batch and Rampart going into probably yet another Imperial facility and trying to find the location of Mount Tantiss. I really have no idea how Rampart is going to help when he doesn't know the location, but he does have intel that they clearly don't have, because the Empire, he was a vice admiral of the Empire. So yeah, there's a lot that could go down in this episode that we have no idea about, but I would love to see some more Omega. See more of Omega being trapped in the vault, see how important she really is, and maybe get some experiments done, and maybe, just maybe, see the inside of one of those Bacta tanks that is inside the vault that we saw in episode 3. But that's just my crazy predictions that probably won't happen, but we'll see. I gotta ask you guys this. 1, will we see Omega's blood actually successfully create a Force-sensitive clone in these next 3 episodes? Will there be a successful Force-sensitive clone created before the destruction of Mount Tantiss. Because I believe that Mount Tantiss will be destroyed in the finale of this show. But before that happens, because we got 2 episodes before then, are we going to see Omega's blood be taken, put together with these other kids that are in the vault, and combine the two to create a Force-sensitive clone? Will it be like another Moff Gideon type of The Mandalorian Season 3? Will they create a Force-sensitive clone, but it just gets destroyed before it deals any damage, before it actually has the ability to come out and play? Are we going to see a very similar thing as we saw in The Mandalorian Season 3 with Moff Gideon's clones? Is somebody going to scream, "My clone"? Is Dr. Hemlock going to quote Moff Gideon? But he came first, so it would be Moff Gideon quoting Dr. Is he going to scream, "My clones," as they blow up? Are we going to see that? Are we going to see that? What do we think? My clones, exactly. All right, let me pull this up, actually. And we'll end this stupid poll that just says smash a like on the stream. If you guys haven't smashed a like on the stream, I don't know what you're doing. I really don't. Like, fix your life choices. Smash a freaking like on the stream. Okay. Let's pull this up. Do you think Omega's, how do I phrase this, blood will create a successful clone? Yes or no? Simple yes or no. No maybe. There will be no maybe in this one. Yes or no, will Omega's blood create a successful clone before the finale of this show? Yes or no? This is a pretty interesting one because, honestly, I really don't know. Do they have enough time to do this? Do they have enough time to create a Force-sensitive clone and then kill it off same way they did in The Mandalorian Season 3 with Moff Gideon's clones? Or are they just going to allude to the fact that Omega could create a Force-sensitive clone? And my other question to you guys is Palpatine going to come back to Tantis by the end of this season? Is Palpatine going to be back? Is he going to somehow return to Mount Tantiss? Because the Empire just found the most important thing to his Project Necromancer. Is Hemlock going to call him up and be like, "Buddy, Papa Palps, you got to get down here as soon as possible, because we got the key. We got the missing puzzle piece in Omega, and we need you to come down here immediately." I feel like that phone call should happen. I feel like Palpatine should be there, but I want to know what you guys think. Because if Palpatine does indeed come down to Mount Tantiss and finds out that Omega is that important, then Omega needs to die. We talked about this on Saturday's stream. Will Omega die or not? If Palpatine comes to Mount Tantiss, Omega needs to die. We're going to talk about the ending of this show today, as there's an interview that we're going to go over with the actress who plays Omega, voices Omega, Michelle Ang. She talks about the end of this show, and what she says might blow your mind, but it also might be teasing as to what's going to happen down the stretch here. Yeah. Officer Murdoch says we will see Palpatine again. Interesting. I think if we do, that means Omega's going to die. All right, let me catch up on some chats before I get too far behind. All right. Charlotte says Rampart will take them to his basement instead of Tantis. What? Nick says, my prediction is someone significant will die in tonight's episode. Do you guys think somebody significant, I guess define significant, Rampart or up? Rampart significance or up? Like Rampart or, of course, the Bad Batch themselves, or like the clone Hauser or the clone Assassin or Emery or Dr. Hemlock. Do you think somebody of that level of significance will die before the finale? Because I think the Bad Batch themselves will probably all die in the finale. But will somebody important take the Paz Vizsla route and die before the finale? Like in The Mandalorian Season 3? What do we think? What do we think? Rem says, Vader will show up. Heard his theme at the end of the trailer? What? You heard Vader's theme at the end of what trailer? Rem, where are you at? Tell me. Do you guys think Vader will show up? Give me a 1 into the chat if you think Vader will show up. Give me a 2 if you're like, no way. Actually, I pulled this up on the community tab. Let me show you guys this. So I pulled up, who do you guys think is the most likely to show up by the end of this season? And the options were Vader, of course, any Inquisitor, any of them, Palpatine and Boba Fett. And surprise, surprise, with almost 7,000 votes, Vader's at the top of the list. So let me pull this up for you guys. Darth Vader, with 65% saying Darth Vader is the most likely to show up by the finale. Second place is Palpatine with 16%. Any Inquisitor is number 10. And people are very low on the Boba Fett train here. People are not on the Boba Fett bandwagon. But Vader has an astounding lead. And it seems like a lot of you guys might actually think that Vader might show up. Interesting. Honestly, if I was to vote on this poll, I would have said Palpatine is most likely, but Vader would probably be my second option. It's fascinating. Almost 69, nice. Almost 7,000 votes. 7,000 votes, and we have you guys think Darth Vader is the most likely to show up by the end of this season, which makes sense. It makes sense if you think about it really hard. G2 Cody, what's up? How we doing? Fearless says, no one will die until the last episode. Interesting. Charlotte says, Crosshair and Hunter will die. Echo will survive, and Wrecker is about 50-50, and Omega will probably live. I'm right there with you, 100%. I think Crosshair and Hunter are probably goners. Wrecker's probably a goner too. I hope Echo survives, and I think Omega probably will survive. But wait till we read this. We'll read this. Once I catch up on the chats, we'll read this interview from Michelle Ang, who's a voice actress for Omega, and we'll see if you guys change your tune a little bit here. Tony says, Into the Breach was, I guess, better than Into the Frying Pan. What? Yes, maybe. Zap says, okay, my crazy theory is that Chopper will save the day and kill Hemlock, war crime style. And that is a crazy theory, but I love it. I know, Maggie, right? I know. My clones! Exactly. I gotta get that as one of these things.
This is where the fun begins.
I gotta get my clones as one of those, you know?
Incorrect.
Fearless says, maybe we'll see a young Dr. Pershing in the epilogue. Maybe. I don't know if Dr. Pershing ever sort of came into contact with any people who worked on Mount Tantiss. I don't think that's any of his background. I think he's like way later. How old is... Somebody fact check me on this in the chat. How old is Dr. Pershing in The Mandalorian? How old is he? How old is Dr. Pershing in The Mandalorian? Because honestly, he might be like a young child at this time of the Bad Batch. So it might be impossible for him to be around. Yeah. Officer Murdoch says we will see Palpatine again, maybe. John Groom says, if they do create a Force-sensitive clone, then it will have to die along with Omega unless everyone who knows about Omega dies. Yeah. So all the people who know about Omega's significance have to die before the end of the show. What's up, Dominic? Have to die before the end of the show, or else Omega has to die. Because she'll be way too important. She'll have to be on the run for the rest of her life, and the Empire will just track her down. So everybody who knows about Omega, which right now is very few, because Hemlock and Emery are the only two people that know of Omega's significance right now. If those two characters die, then Omega's fine. She's fine. She doesn't have to go into hiding. The Empire won't be hunting her down. Everybody who knows about her significance will have died, which could happen. But if more people find out, if Palpatine finds out, if all the people on Mount Tantiss find out, then Omega has to die. She has to die, or she'll be on the run for the rest of her life. Yeah. Nick says, I heard some theories of there being a spin-off clone show with Rex and Echo and company going around the galaxy and fighting against the Empire. Thoughts? I like it. I do like that theory. A clone rebellion show, as Cat's Paw, who's a member here around the channel. Cat's Paw loves that theory. A clone rebellion show. I would not be opposed to that, but let me ask you guys, which would you rather? A clone show that follows Rex and maybe Echo and maybe Hauser and Gregor and Wolf in them trying to fight against the Empire, going on missions, kind of like a prequel to Rebels almost with the clones. Would you rather that or an Omega and Asajj Ventress show that involves the hidden path with the Jedi who survived Order 66 in the underworld of Star Wars, and it could have elements of that Clone Rebellion show, and she could help out Rex every once in a while? Which would you rather? The Clone Rebellion show or the Omega and Ventress show? Omega Ventress, Clone Rebellion. He was 43. Dr. Pershing was 43. So, yeah, I mean, if he's 43, then he'd be in his 20s. He'd be in his 20s around that time. Should we pull it up? All right, let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. All right, we'll pull it up. We'll pull it up, as this one doesn't seem to be budging much after 40. So, let's see. Do you think Omega's blood will create a Force-sensitive clone, a successful one by the end of the show? 72% of you said yes. The math is not mathing. But yeah, you guys do think that that's the case, which is interesting. I actually don't think it's the case because then that would complicate things a whole lot more. All right, which would you rather? Which would you rather? Clone Rebellion show or Omega and Ventress show? Clone Rebellion show or Omega and Ventress show? Clone Rebellion would follow Rex and others, and Omega and Ventress would have maybe the hidden path connection and maybe some other things there too. What do we think? What do we think? All right, let me scroll back up here. Dustin Kennedy, what's up, Dustin, says, I am very nervous for the Bad Batch, and I have a feeling that it's going to be very emotional. Yeah, this end is not going to be a happy one, I don't think. I mean, maybe the end will be kind of happy, but we're talking about a pretty dark ending coming very soon. Yeah. JS, what is up, Jay, says, if Palpatine finds out about Omega being the center of his plans, Palpatine will never let her out of his sight, meaning she has to die. That's what I'm saying. So if Palpatine does show up by the end of this season, if he does come back to Tantis, then Omega is a goner. Absolutely a goner. I completely agree. Liam Neeson in the chat. Qui-Gon Jinn is in the chat right now. Liam, what is up? Says, maybe a post-credit scene with Dr. Pershing and Palpatine to tease future plans. Maybe. But we don't know if Pershing was ever working with Palpatine. That's never been, revealed to us. So it would be a pretty big reveal if that was the case, but we'll see. We'll see. Soul says, Palpatine might arrive shortly after the destruction of Mount Tantiss. That could be likely too. Maybe they call Palpatine in, and he doesn't get there until after the Bad Batch come in and destroy the planet, or destroy the mountain, I should say. And then he's left with ruins. That could be possible. That would be kind of cool too. If Palpatine showed up and the whole place was on fire and blown up, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty wild. I like that theory. Maybe Palpatine will turn up in time to see the smoldering remains of Tantis. Did you guys collaborate on that comment? Those were back to back. Mando United says, can't believe I have to wait till tomorrow after work to see this episode. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Yeah, of course, we'll be doing a watch party. If you guys don't know, we do watch parties at 2:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday for the new episodes. So watch out for that, of course, later. Yeah. This is the way. What's up? No worries. Officer Murdoch says, Tech died before, so maybe another member of the Bad Batch will too. Well, I think, honestly, I appreciate the hearts, guys. I think all of them will die, except for Omega. But yeah, Tech is gone. Mr. Beckham says, a rematch between Ventress and Vader in the season finale. Okay. If Vader was to show up, it would be the coolest thing ever. Palpatine showing up makes Omega probably die. An Inquisitor showing up would be kind of cool. Boba Fett showing up would be kind of cool. But Vader showing up would be the coolest thing that could possibly happen in this finale. For two reasons. One, Asajj Ventress. And two, Captain Rex. If Asajj Ventress is there, which is still kind of a maybe. I don't know if Ventress will be involved in this last push to sort of go save Tantis or anything. But Rex is a definite. Rex is going to be there. Rex is going to be involved in this saving of the clones on Mount Tantiss. So Rex is definitely going to be there. If Vader were to show up, which we don't know. But if Vader were to show up, this reunion between him and Rex, now Rex wouldn't know who it is under the mask. He doesn't know that Anakin turned into Vader, but Anakin would. So Anakin's reaction to seeing Rex might be like a he freezes type thing, where maybe he's like fighting people, killing people left and right, and then he freezes because he sees Rex. The other thing is, of course, Asajj Ventress. Asajj Ventress would be pretty cool because Ventress and Anakin fought countless times throughout the Clone Wars. And again, Ventress wouldn't know who's under the mask, but Anakin would. Anakin would know who Ventress is, and maybe, again, he would freeze. Maybe causing to get him some damage. Maybe some, a little bit of damage going on in there. But we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. I'd love to see Vader. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to see Vader. Barris Toffee Coffee. You think we'll see Barris Toffee? That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Anasada, what's up? Says Palpatine, once more, the Sith will rule the galaxy. Maybe not, but maybe. Maybe Vader shows up and kills the Bad Batch. That, I think, is unlikely. I think the Bad Batch will make a sacrifice play to blow up Tantis or whatever they may do, but I don't think Vader will be the one to kill them. Now, maybe he kills one of them, which would be wild. Plot twist, he kills Rex, and then the Rex in Rebels is just retcon. No, I'm kidding. But that would be pretty wild. If he kills some significant people, that would be crazy. Yeah, that would be wild. Or what if he kills Hemlock because he finds out that Palpatine is hiding something from him? Think about it. Think about it. Mandalorian Legion, what's up, says, do you think that we will see Omega tap into the Force in the finale? Well, I made the video a few weeks ago about Omega taming the Zillo Beast, and I actually think that will still happen in a way. I think Omega will not, like, physically go up to the Zillo Beast, use her hand, use the Force, and tame the Beast, but I think she will use the Force to sort of, she'll help free the Zillo Beast, and then she'll sort of use the Force indirectly, I guess, to have the Zillo Beast go after the bad guys and not the good guys. We saw the Zillo Beast already go directly after Palpatine when it was on Coruscant, so maybe we'll see something similar to that, where the Zillo Beast knows who's good and who's evil, and maybe he, like, senses it. I really don't know. But I would like to see Omega maybe not use the Force, like to push someone or choke someone or pull someone or anything, but maybe, like, show a sign of it, if you know what I mean. You know? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? I think we could see something like that. Yeah. I think we could. Personally, do you think that Omega will die? I hope not. I would forever hate Star Wars. What? But it seems like they are teasing it. I would not forever hate Star Wars, but I don't think Omega will die. I don't. I think it's likely that Omega will stay alive, but I'm just saying if Palpatine comes and finds out that Omega's the most important thing to his Project Necromancer, she's got to die. But let's read this article, okay? Let's read this article so that we can... I'll catch up on the rest of the chats in a minute, okay? Okay, let's do this. So this is coming from the Hollow Files. This is the only kind of place that they're covering it because they had the exclusive interview with Michelle Ang, okay? So let's cover this, all right? Exclusive interview. Omega's actress Michelle Ang talks Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 3, Asajj Ventress, and the series finale. All right, so let's talk about this. So this is Michelle Ang right here. She's the voice of Omega. All right, why is this text so small? Can we zoom in one more time? Is that better? I think that's better. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Fans of Star Wars The Bad Batch will know that Omega, a young clone whose kindness is equal to her bravery, is one of the franchise's most endearing characters of all time. She's a very similar character to Ahsoka, who starts out very annoying, for lack of a better word, and becomes one of the coolest characters, or a character that you really feel for. Much of this kindness and endearment comes from the actress herself, Michelle Ang, who voices Omega in the animated series. The Hollow Files, along with other Star Wars outlets, recently had the opportunity to speak with Michelle Ang about the upcoming final season of The Bad Batch. So I believe this interview is, from before the season even started. So this is from before the season even started. So we might hear some information that we already know, but it does talk about Asajj Ventress, and it does talk about the finale, which we have not seen, obviously. The last fans saw of Omega in Season 2's finale, which was she was captured by the Empire and imprisoned by the insidious Dr. Hemlock to undergo extensive tests as part of Emperor Palpatine's cloning mission. At the top secret facility on Mount Tantiss, Omega is joined by Crosshair, who left the Bad Batch and was loyal to the Empire for a time before turning on the new regime and redeeming himself. After previously not interacting with each other much, Aang states that she is so excited for Omega and Crosshair have been paired together for this final adventure, before going on to add that Crosshair has something to learn from her this season, and their roles are reversed in some ways. So obviously we've already seen a lot of this, Omega and Crosshair's connection and what they've gone through over the course of this season, but let's keep reading. Despite her youthfulness, Aang teases here that Omega takes on a caregiving role in Season 3, particularly as Crosshair is going through trauma and PTSD. Again, we've seen a lot of this already throughout the first 12 episodes. And also, the reintegration of relationships after a fracture, which is, of course, Crosshair coming back to the Bad Batch, where the Bad Batch bring him back in. Aang continued, Crosshair learns what forgiveness is and really loves and real love in the face of betrayal. I don't know why I just repeated in the face twice, but we're reading it. And then reuniting together and what that can look like. Okay, let's skip to the good stuff here. All right, here comes Ventress. Omega doesn't just interact with the Bad Batch in this series, as Aang reveals a bit about Asajj Ventress's role in this series. Ventress is really interesting to Omega specifically. That is pretty interesting. She comes across formidable female figures, but I think that one in particular really sort of took Omega a step back. There was a sort of fear and respect like intrigue. So we saw the Ventress episode already. Now, we don't know if Ventress is going to come back in this third season or not, but we actually already saw what she's kind of talking about here, where Omega's kind of taken back by Asajj Ventress. She finds her in the cave. She doesn't know who she is. She's here to tell her all this crazy stuff about midichlorians and test her midichlorian count and all that other stuff. The website is Holofiles. The Holofiles. Yeah. All right. Okay. So, they then asked Michelle what her favorite moment of Omega was so far, which led the New Zealander to tease the season finale, as well as some alternate endings that were considered. Okay, so now here's the good stuff. Audiences haven't seen the finale of Season 3 yet, obviously, and they're slightly different ways of the show's ending. So there wasn't really one specific way that this show was going to end. Like, there just wasn't. There was multiple different versions of an ending that they could have gone with. Maybe that was to avoid spoilers. Maybe that was to avoid having leaks. Or maybe they just didn't know how they wanted to end certain characters. But she goes on. We weren't set on exactly how it was going to end. Interesting. There were sort of some explorations, but as a character and emotional moments was the endings. But as an actor, an emotional moment was the ending we landed on. An emotional moment. What is she referring to here? It was like the combination of my journey as a performer and Omega's journey as a character, all consolidated into 2 lines. What are those 2 lines? All this emotion, all this chaos, the finale is consolidated into 2 lines. What does that mean? What are the 2 lines? What is she referring to here? Here's my thing. Well, first of all, guess what the 2 lines could possibly be in the chat, please. But here's my thing with this. I think she's probably referring to a line that either Hunter's going to say or Crosshair's going to say. Now, I don't know what the line is going to be, Maybe it's good soldiers follow orders, but that seems like one line to me. But we'll see. The 2 lines are do it. That's one line. That's one line. I think it's probably going to come from Hunter. It's probably going to be very emotional, and it's probably going to be something along the lines of good soldiers follow orders. 2 lines of spice? Oh my God, you guys are crazy today. You guys are absolutely losing your mind today. 2 lines of spice, really? Yeah. Omega will die. This is not specifically saying Omega will die. However, there is an emotional end, but that end doesn't specifically refer to Omega's character herself. It's called the Bad Batch Season 3 new trailer. It's got Hunter in front of everyone in the pic. Oh, you're talking about the trailer that you talked about earlier? I'll see if I can find it. If we all go in, we won't make it all out. Yes. Okay, so that's a great point. In the last trailer that we watched last week, and let me pull it up right now. So in this last trailer that we were talking about last week, we saw That's very loud. We heard Crosshair say this.
The Empire's targeting us. If we all go in, we're not all making it out.
Let me put the closed captioning on here.
All go in, we're not all making it out.
If we all go in, we're not all making it out. Is this the 2 lines that Michelle Ang is referring to here? Is this possible that these are the 2 lines that she's talking about? If we all go in, we're not all making it out, and then we watch them all go in, and they all don't make it out.
We're not all making it out.
That is a great catch. That could be it. That could be it. What else? What are we thinking? What else? She will join the Emperor? I doubt that. Good soldiers follow orders. We aren't soldiers anymore. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. B-Man, what is up? Knights of Melvin in the chat. What's up, Melvin? How we doing? I don't know. What do we think the 2 lines could be? Let's keep reading this article, but throw your 2 lines in the chat. So she says 2 lines. It's all been leading up to these 2 lines. Everything has been leading to these 2 lines. If it's the Crosshair lines, that would be insane. Okay. So Michelle Ang's journey playing Omega began years ago as the Bad Batch was first deployed, and she was taking the actor all across the globe, from fan conventions in Anaheim, California, to London, England. Because of this, Ang says that she read the finalized script for the last episode with great trepidation, adding that she had to prepare herself emotionally before opening up the document. So obviously it's the end of the show, so she had to prepare herself, but she has to prepare herself because this is going to be a pretty sad end. So let's keep reading. Michelle stated that the finale is really sentimental, and I was sad but grateful for the journey. The fact that it had to end after 3 seasons was surprising, but also I think that the writers have done a beautiful job. So she is really talking about it like an end here. Now, maybe that's because Omega does die in this finale, but I actually don't think that that's the case. I think she's more so talking about it as an end to the other characters. Now, it does seem... Now, tell me what you guys think. Do you think that she's talking about Omega and her end in this scenario, or she's talking about the Bad Batch's end? Because when you read this, it does sound like she's talking about her character, Omega, is coming to an end. You think she's Phasma? That would be kind of crazy. That would be absolutely insane. But doesn't Phasma have a different accent than Omega? And how would Omega become a bad guy like that? Yeah. Yeah. I think it's possible that she could be referring to Omega's death here, but I would... Again, I just don't see that being a possibility. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I don't think you add a character like Omega in Episode 1, Season 1 of The Bad Batch just to kill her off in the finale. But Michelle seems to think otherwise, and she's the one who's read the script, so maybe. So this is what she says again about the finale. Really sentimental, of course, we knew that was coming. And I was sad, but grateful for the journey. This makes it seem like the journey's over, and her character is over as well. The fact that it had to end after 3 seasons was surprising, again, making it feel like her character came to an end after 3 seasons. But also, I think the writers had done a beautiful job. They did. They probably did. They have so far, and they probably continue to do so. Interesting. Let's keep reading. Aang went on to tease Omega's final moments in the show, saying that the gravity of the final final moments made it easy to feel like that was the culmination of everything. Interestingly, Michelle also gave some specifics on the alternate endings, adding that Omega was set up with the possibility of a very large future in the Star Wars galaxy, and then it changed from there. Hang on. What? So we've been talking about this at length for weeks, with the possibility of getting an Omega in an Asajj Ventress show. You look at the poll that's up right now in the chat, it says an Omega and Ventress show or a Clone Rebellion show. What Michelle Aang just said here is that there once was an alternate ending to this show that involved Omega having a very large future. Very large future. But it changed from there. So maybe this Omega and Ventress show was a thing at one point, but now it's not. Do you think that they really went from having that be the case, having Omega go off and have her own show with a very large future after the events of the Bad Batch, and they changed it and killed her off? That's what Michelle Aang is saying right here. I mean, does anybody read this differently than me? So Omega had a chance for a large future. Why did they take that from her? I don't know. Maybe it fit the ending better. I'm not too sure. General Grievous in the house, what's up? What? Do we actually think that Omega once had a large future in the Star Wars galaxy and now they killed her off? Or is Michelle Aang just messing with us? Is Michelle Aang trying to turn the narrative, make us think that there once was a bright future for Omega and now she's going to die, just so that it can twist again and we actually see her in the future? Senor Mula, what's up, says Omega is doomed because the general state of Star Wars. What? Starchip says, oh, I lost it. Damn it. Omega becomes the armorer? No. I don't think so. But maybe. But everybody loves Omega. Why would they kill her off? Well, that's not... I mean, everybody loved Kanan Jarrus. He got killed off. Everybody loved Queel from The Mandalorian Season 1. He got killed off. Everybody loved Darth Vader. He got killed off. Everybody gets killed off eventually. She better not be joking. Orbital bombardment? That's possible. That's a possibility. She will fake her death, and we will all think she is dead until the epilogue. But then a lot of people would be very upset about that. They'd be like, oh my god, yet another person died in Star Wars but didn't really die. Nobody can really die in Star Wars. That's what they'll all say. And they'll sound exactly like that too. Michelle Aang is lying. That's far too revealing to be the truth. But even if she is lying, because right here she says, Omega was set up with a possibility of a very large future in the Star Wars galaxy, and it changed from there. If she was lying, then she would never say that. Because if this is the real ending, if she's just if she's Uno reversing us right now, if she just tossed an Uno reverse card down, and that is the real ending, that there's a possible very large future for Omega in the galaxy, she would never have said that. She would have never told us that that is the real scenario. She wouldn't even have teased it out that there was a possibility at one point. Because that would have spoiled the entire ending. In a way, I guess she wasn't really spoiling it too much, but it sounds a little crazy. And she describes the new ending as bittersweet, which is going to be a great ending, but it's probably going to be a sad one. Yeah, draw 4. Yeah, she gave the Uno reverse, and I said draw 4. Do you think we'll get another hallway scene from Darth Vader cutting down Crosshair, Hunter, Wrecker, Echo, and Omega? No, but it would be cool. A new episode dropping at 8 UK time. I don't know. It's 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so maybe. Bittersweet sounds like a sacrifice. I agree. I think bittersweet only sounds like a negative thing here. I don't think bittersweet can be taken as good news. Again, this was before the season started. Michelle Ang might have just been teasing us, making us think that she's going to die just to have a big twist that she doesn't die. But I don't know why she would say any of this if it wasn't the truth. I don't know. So now, with all this being said, and you can listen to the full interview here. With all this being said, from her saying that she used to have a large potential future in the Star Wars galaxy, but it changed, and now it seems like an ending for the character of Omega, and she's very grateful for the journey that is now over after 3 years. With that being said, I'm going to start up a new poll now. Let's end this last one. As the Clone Rebellion show clearly took a lead. I wonder why that is. So 56% of you, the math is not mathing, 56% of you think that the Clone Rebellion show is more likely, or you would rather it, than a Omega and Ventress show, which is surprising to me. But let's start up this poll. Do you think Omega will die? There's no maybe. It's a yes or no question. Do you think Omega will die? Simply put, after what we just read Michelle Ang say to us all, that there once was a bright future for Omega. She once was going to have a very large story in the Star Wars galaxy, but now it's changed. Now it's over. What do we think? What do you think? Will Omega live? Will Omega die? What do we think? Wow, this is really split down the middle right now. We're in the 50s. We are in the 50s of percentages. All right, let me scroll back up here a little bit, catch up on some chats. Let's see. Goodbye and I love you would be the two lines. That would be insane. The 2 lines could be "Do it, Omega," and "Join me." It's Palpatine. Good cups follow orders. Imagine she just looks at the camera and goes, "Good cups follow orders," and then she sacrifices herself. That'd be crazy. Baldy Prick 1888. What's up? Says 2 lines, 2 blades on a double-bladed lightsaber. Maul returns and skewers Omega like Qui-Gon Jinn and rides off into the sunset. Confirmed.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I don't think so. What if she's Captain Phasma? I don't think that's possible. I mean, maybe. I'm pretty sure Phasma has a different accent because Omega's got the New Zealand accent. What does Phasma have? Something like that. Melvin saw too much love for Star Wars, so he had to retract his message and leave. JS says, imagine if Omega is the only one who dies. The rest make it out alive. That would be a pretty big twist. I would not expect that at all. Now, we've heard rumors of all these different endings, and now Michelle Ang is confirming that there was multiple different endings for the show, and they had to go with one specific one. And at one point, she had a bright future, and now it seems like she's going to come to an end. I honestly think Omega might die. Now, I'm not going to say she is going to die, because I don't think she will. But it's a possibility. Like, at one point, I was like, there's no way Omega dies. There's absolutely zero chance. She's going to go on, have this other show with Ventress, and have this great life to live. After the Bad Batch all die and sacrifice themselves to save her, she'll live a great life. Now I got a little bit of doubt. Just a little bit of doubt. But we'll see. Yeah. The 2 lines are, "Hi, I'm Omega." Well, that would really, that would be meaningful. That would hit me in the feels, you know? Yeah. The Galactic Ponderer says, trust in the Force. It's all we have. It's all we ever really had. But who would say that? Who would really say that? Because none of them really trust in the Force, you know? Not sure, but I see two potential endings for Omega. She goes off with Ventress, or she goes off with Emery. What do I think? I think there's more than those two endings. I think she could die. But yeah, I think she will go off with Ventress if she does survive, because I think the rest of her brothers are probably going to die. Yeah. The Phasma thing, I've heard that theory before. I just don't think it's possible. Omega would be way older than Phasma would be by the time of the sequels, because the sequels are a long way away from the Bad Batch. You gotta say 20 years till the originals, another 25 at least till the sequels. So Omega would be in her 50s, if not 60s at that point. And I don't think Phasma is that old. But maybe. I'm Palpatine's daughter? Oh no. No. What do you want to be my student? And yes, master? Oh my god. So you guys think Palpatine's just gonna come in and take Omega like that? I don't know. Disney loves their plot holes, don't they? No, they don't. They really don't. Not recently. Not if Dave Filoni's in charge of it, they don't. Barbie's in the chat. What's up, Barbie? Says, Ventress already gave up info. She said to Omega, who's holding back, those words are important. So, what? Worried about our guys and girls and shark-looking dog thing. Oh, and Gonki. Yeah, they're kind of all up in the air. Yeah, they're all their lives are sort of up in the air right now. JS says, I think the Empire will make a clone of Omega, more likely a couple clones of Omega, so that the Empire has multiple chances of succeeding. Could leave Omega a window to escape alive. I don't know if they'll clone Omega because, actually, that's not a bad idea to clone Omega. I think they'll just use Omega to create a Force-sensitive clone. But we'll see. Andrew, what's up, Andrew? Says, howdy, Mike. So close to 50K. I know, we just passed 46,000, so thank you to you guys. We just passed 46,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane, so I appreciate all of you. But yeah, we're getting close. We are getting close. Oh yeah. Somehow Palpatine returns. Yes, Pam. He will return eventually, but I don't think he'll return in this Bad Batch Season 3. I do not think so. But will they clone Omega? That's an interesting question. That is a very interesting one. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see for that one. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. All right. Let me Season 3 new. Oh, that's not a Star Wars trailer, Rem. It's got to be from Star Wars. Officer Murdoch says, so Omega had the chance to have a large future. Why did they take that from her? Well, I think it's more so the ending probably fit better. It's not that they took it from her. It's more that they just had a better ending for her. You know? It's not that they wanted to kill off a child. It's a better ending for the show, I think. I think she might be lying. Could I turn on Chopper? Yes, I can. Yes, I can turn on Chopper. I know, you guys like Chopper better than me. I get it. Who wouldn't? The hell, Chopper, turn on. Oh, there he is. I get it. You guys come here to watch Chopper and not me. I understand. I would do the same. Skywalker Academy says, all this time I've been confronting the shadow of the Empire. Now I must face my own shadows? Oh, Omega would say that. I was very confused. You will try? Oh my god, that's your username? That's awesome. And I'm guessing your profile picture is Vader, right? That's awesome. You will try. Oh man, she will definitely die. I don't know. Right now, we are at 58% of you saying no, Omega won't die, which means 42% of you think she will die, which is absolutely insane. I thought it would be way less, but just based off of purely what Michelle Ang said in that interview, I might have to agree with you. Chopper, you just want everybody to die. We know. We get it. Okay. I don't know what to call you because your name is something. I'll just call you 1888. Let's go with that. We're probably going to get a Rogue One ending again. Yeah, we're getting Rogue One for sure. I think we're going to see the end of most of our main characters. Yes. Yes. Do I have an R2-D2? No, just the chopper. Just the chopper. Fearless says they are not going to kill her off. I agree with you. I don't think she will die, but Michelle Ang is not giving me much hope. Yeah. Sounds more and more like Omega is going to die. It does. But we'll have to wait and see. Officer Murdoch says, but everyone loves Omega, so why would they kill her off? I mean, everybody loves a lot of characters, you know. She better be joking. She might be. She might be. Fearless says, Omega will make a sacrifice for the future of the clones. Doesn't mean that she will get killed. Maybe. But here's the thing. What Michelle was saying, what she said, was that at one point, Omega was set up for a possibility of a very large future, and then it changed from there. Meaning at some point she had a very big future in the Star Wars galaxy, and yet that changed. Why did that change? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Yeah. Darth Drew, what's up? Says, can't off Rey's mom, unfortunately. Okay. She's not Rey's mom. That's the whole okay. Let me clear some things up here. I made that video on Sunday because she's not Rey's mom. Okay? Everybody saw me make a video that says, is Omega Rey's mom? And didn't take time to watch the video. They just thought I was saying that Omega is Rey's mom. And they were like, oh my God, Mike, you're an idiot. And I was like, hey, watch the freaking video because I say she's not Rey's mom. I don't think she's Rey's mom. But I have been seeing that theory be thrown around there. She's not Rey's mom. Rey has a mom in canon Star Wars. Her name is Mira Mir. Great name. Sounds like... Not all names can be Chopper, okay? Why did I turn you on? Okay. Regardless. She's not Rey's mom. You watched the video. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. I know you do. I know you do, Darth Drew. I know you do. But it was fun to yell at you. So, you know, just happens sometimes. Where was I? Disney hates money? I seriously doubt that. It will be a Rogue One ending where everybody dies to Vader. I don't know if they'll all die to Vader, but I do think it will be a very Rogue One-esque ending. I hope she survives. I hope she survives too. But we'll have to wait and see. Mace Cameron says, by the way, adding to what you said earlier, not only does Hemlock and Emery know about Omega's importance, but Scorch and Nala Se do as well. I don't know if Scorch does, but Nala Se definitely does. But all four of those characters are on Mount Tantiss. So if Mount Tantiss gets destroyed, then all four of those characters will die. And yes, Chopper, they will die. And it's likely that they will all die in a fiery blaze, and Omega will be safe from everybody else. Yeah. 1888 says, do you think that we will get another hallway scene with Vader cutting through? Oh, no, I already read that. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm calling it Rogue One ending. Everybody will die to Daddy Vader. I don't know if they'll die to Vader specifically, because Rogue One doesn't end with them all dying to Vader. A lot of people do die to Vader, but I don't think it will be Vader specifically. I think it's more likely that it will be a destruction of Tantis, probably some massive explosion or something. I don't know. But the Bad Batch will sacrifice themselves. Very similar to Rogue One, but yeah. Who's 1888? 1888 is Baldy Prick 1888. I'm just going to not be calling him that. It's a great name, but I don't want to call him Baldy. Definitely don't want to call him the second half of his name, so I'm going with 1888. Yeah. Senor Mula says, I think we may see Vader or Boba Fett. I think Boba Fett's a lot less likely. If we are going to get a Omega and Ventress show, that's probably where you will see Boba Boba Fett, but Vader would be more likely. Yeah. Yeah. Damn it, it just scrolled down to the bottom. Are you kidding me? No! All right, I made it back. I made it back. Do or do not, there is no try. Indeed. Skywalker Academy says, Omega dies and Ventress takes her to Dathomir to revive her. Oh my god. Imagine how mad everybody... Would you guys be mad if that happened? Well, that was the most evil laugh by Chopper right there. Would you guys be mad if that's what happened? If Omega dies and Ventress takes her to Dathomir to revive her. Give me a 1 into the chat if you would be angry. If you'd be extremely upset with that ending. And give me a 2 if you're like, I kind of like it. A 1 is, I hate it. And a 2 is, I kind of like it. What do we think? Omega dies and gets brought back to life on Tantis. It would do 2 things. 1, it would explain Asajj Ventress's return without having to do a Tales of the Jedi Season 2 about Asajj Ventress. But it would also really piss off a lot of fans. As I can see a bunch more 2s than 1s in the chat. Actually, wait, no. 2 was you kind of like it. Oh shit, I see a bunch more 2s than 1s. You guys kind of like that idea? I think it would be a bad idea. I would say 1, 100%. No, I think this is a terrible idea. Do not kill off another character and bring it back to life. Do you want to piss off the fandom even more? No, don't do that. No.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I just start turning into Palpatine. No, I think that's a horrible idea. Horrible idea. 1888 says, not all of us are making out. Crosshair said that, so maybe some of the characters will survive. Yeah, I don't think they're all going to die. I think Omega will survive. I do. I truly do. Yeah. 1, change my mind. I won't change your mind. I agree with you. I see a 3, not my first choice, but I would live with it. Interesting. B-Man says, I definitely don't want Omega to die. Me either. Mando United says, I think the big role would have been if she could use the Force, and it turns out that she actually can't. Interesting. So you think that Omega will survive, but what Michelle is referring to here is that at one point she was going to go off and be a Force user, but now she's not. Interesting. Let's ask the class again. Force user or not, Omega? What do we think? Put Force user in the chat if you say yes. Put definitely not a Force user in the chat if you say no. Is Omega going to become a Force user in the future of Star Wars? Well, obviously, if you think she's going to die, then you're probably going to say no. But if she does become a Force user, what do we think? Thank God she's not a Force user. Well, right now she's not a Force user. That doesn't mean that she won't go train with Asajj Ventress and become a Force user later on down the line. Wait, what? You're saying Kiner has already tweeted something? Oh, from last week, maybe? You guys think she will become a Force user? Interesting. Actually, we're pretty split on this one. Not a Force user, Force user. Not a Force user, Force user. Interesting. Should we pull this one up? Should we pull it up? Let's do it. Let's pull it up. Because 62% of you right now, at least 62%. 62% of you say she will not die, and 37% say she will die, which is pretty close, but not as close as I thought it would be, honestly. All right, let's see. Will Omega ever use the Force? That's how I'm phrasing this. Will ever use the Force? Yes or no? Ever. At any point in time, will she ever use the Force? Now, if you think she's going to die by the end of this season, then you're probably going to say no. But if you think she will go on and train to use the Force, then you'll probably say yes. What do we think? Where was I? Oh, there we go. Rick Odd, what's up, Rick, says, I do like the series, even though I thought season 2 was pretty bad. I actually didn't think season 2 was bad, but I was not the biggest fan of season 2. Up until the ending, really, I thought it wasn't that meaningful. There was a lot of just missions for Sid, and I get that that was a lot of character development, whatever, but it wasn't nearly like this is season 2. This is season 3. Like, it's not even close for me. I'm enjoying season 3 of The Bad Batch so much more than I did season 2. So I absolutely agree with you on that statement. I don't think it was bad per se, but it was not my favorite, and I actually think season 3 is a huge step up from season 2. I think season 2 was probably better than season 1, so I'd probably put season 1 here, season 2 here, and then season 3 is just a million miles ahead. Yeah. Mando United said, speaking of accents, did you hear Hera lose her French accent? Yeah, so Hera has a strong accent, but when she leaves, she doesn't want to be like, she doesn't want to remember her home planet and her family, the Syndulas, and so she wants to leave and start a new life. So she has this other accent when she's with Kanan and the rebels. Yeah. Do not kill her, but maybe instead of going off with Ventress for now, she runs off with Emery and could help find and protect Force-sensitive kids. It's possible that Emery could survive, but I think it's highly unlikely. I think Emery will probably die in the fiery blaze of Mount Tantiss. But we'll see. We'll see. Kiner posted again today. All right, let's check it out. So every week, if you guys remember, Kiner Music and Jennifer Cobart post some teasers at tonight's episode. So let's see what they have tonight. So Jennifer Cobart tweeted, whether you trust Rampart or not, get ready to see him in his element. Whoa. Interesting. So this is a tweet from her an hour ago. What exactly are you implying? We don't know. Thanks a lot. But she says, get ready to see him in his element. What does that mean? Rampart's element is, I think, personally, lying. Working for the Empire, obviously. So maybe we're going to get to see them kind of infiltrating the Imperial base, maybe. I really don't know. Almost everything from the remaining 3 episodes is still up in the air because we have almost zero footage except for a few little very short clips from a previous trailer remaining. So we don't really know anything that's coming up in this episode or the next 2 after this. But she says, whether you trust Rampart or not, which regardless, get ready to see him in his element. So first of all, do you trust Rampart? Yes or no? Do you trust Rampart? Yes or no in the chat? And what the hell do you think his get ready to see him in his element means? I have no idea. But let's go to Kiner Music too. What did they have to say? Oh no. What is this? What is this? The Bad Batch jumping off of a roof and then somebody breathing fire? What does this mean? Who breathes fire? What is there a dragon? What is this? None of you guys trust Rampart. Interesting. But what the hell do we think this means? First of all, there's a heart over this naked person. But it's the Bad Batch. They seem to be jumping into flames. Jumping into the flame, maybe? Something like that? Jumping into the fire, going to Mount Tantiss, maybe? This is more confusing than anything. The Empire knows they're coming. Maybe this is like the Empire here. They know that they're literally just jumping into the flames. They're jumping into a trap, maybe. Or like Crosshair says in the trailer, if they go in there, they're not all making it out. This is referring to tonight's episode. So this might be, this might actually mean that somebody's going to die tonight, or they might get trapped or captured by the Empire or something along those lines. I really don't know. This is crazy. This made me way more confused than even Jennifer Cobat's tweet over there. Look at the tweet from 411. All right, let's see. Tweet from 411. 411. That's 410. 411. This? Wait, what? 411. It's 49. You talking about this right here? Bury the what now? What is this? Is this what you're referring to? Bury the what now? I don't know what this means. Oh, this? They retweeted this? This is pretty funny. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Okay, so I don't know what the hell this means. Looks like the Bad Batch is just jumping into the flames of the Empire, but Jennifer Colbert says, whether you trust Rampart or not, get ready to see him in his element. So we're probably going to see the Empire. We're probably going to be sort of going into an Imperial base maybe, or going into the flames, going like if we put the two together, jumping into the flames and actually getting into the real juice of this final season. We only got 3 episodes left, and we're really getting started here. We're really getting going, for sure. Well, that's from, I mean, it's pretty genius to have the two of them just tweet out random shit that we don't know anything about yet. Because until we watch the episode, we don't really know. Like a few weeks ago, she tweeted out what's in the box. And we were like, what the hell does that mean? And then it turns out that it was just Omega's toy in the box that Emery kept. So we really don't know what it's referring to until we watch the trailer. I mean, watch the actual episode itself. But it's genius to have the two of them just tweet out random shit and have us be like, oh, okay, when it happens. It's genius. It's absolutely genius. Tick's base place, what's up, says, Omega won't die. She's new. I mean, they're all new. The Bad Batch are fairly all new to the Star Wars galaxy. They were introduced in the Clone Wars Season 7, and that was in 2019. They're only 5 years old at most, so they're all pretty new. Supernova, what's up? Yeah. John Groom says, Omega dies and the Bad Batch become Task Force 99. Now, John, you're not the first person I've heard say this. Task Force 99 is obviously an evil version, sort of, so to speak. They came before the Bad Batch, but they're an evil version of the Bad Batch almost for the Empire. Now, that would be a really sad ending if Omega died and the Bad Batch all just got brainwashed into becoming Task Force 99 for the Empire. That would be like the worst ending possible. That would be like the least happy ending ever. And the good guys would lose completely. And it would also have Omega dying. So I doubt that would happen, but it's always a possibility. Senor Mula says, the reason I think Omega survives is because they hired an adult female voice actor for Emery / an older version of Omega. I mean, it's a good theory, but it's not necessary because they hired an older voice actor for Emery that they're just going to use that voice actor for an older version of Omega. One doesn't equal the other, but we'll see. Ellie says, if everyone but Omega dies, I think that she can end up like Mary Magdalene from The Chosen. I don't know who that is, but yes, maybe. I don't know. Azim, what's up? Azim says, Disney won't kill a main character that's a kid. The rest of the Bad Batch will sacrifice themselves. Omega maybe joins up and helps the path. Okay, let me blow your mind here. What if I told you that Omega was actually older than the other members of the Bad Batch? We know that for a fact. Omega is the oldest of them all. So technically she's the older sister to all the Bad Batch. Just because they look like adults, we're all here sitting here saying that it doesn't make sense to kill off the kid of the group, but the kid is actually the oldest one. You know? So if we're talking in technicality here, they're going to be killing off a bunch of kids regardless because the Bad Batch aren't that old. They're like 10 years old at most. How is Omega going to get away from the Empire unless she fakes her own death? Well, that's a great question. How is Omega going to get away from the Empire if she's so important to Project Necromancer? Well, right now, only two other people know, and that's Emery and that's Dr. Hemlock. So if the two of them die, she has got smooth sailing to the end of time. However, if Palpatine does find out, then she will have to either fake her death or herself will have to die. Yeah. Yeah. To be honest, I don't think Omega will die in the Bad Batch show. I agree with that. I do agree with that. Emery will sacrifice herself to help Omega escape. All right, so let's put it this way. I agree with you. I do. I think Emery will sacrifice herself to help Omega. But now we're saying that Emery's going to sacrifice herself for Omega. The Bad Batch, Hunter, Crosshair, Wrecker, all of them are going to sacrifice themselves for Omega. Now Omega has to live with the weight on her shoulders that everybody that she knew and loved sacrificed themselves to save her. Yes, she's important, clearly, but she's important to the Emperor. She's important to the Project Necromancer, to the Emperor's plans. So I think to save her, you're probably better off killing her off. That's just me. That's just me. That's just me. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would I rate the writing of this show? That's a great question. Let me ask the class. What do you rate this out of a scale of 1 to 10? What do you rate the writing of this Bad Batch Season 3? Writing-wise, I would give it a 9. Let's say 9. We'll see if they stick the landing here, but 9 out of 10. The writing so far for the first 12 episodes has been incredible. Absolutely fantastic. I never thought I would really care this much about these Bad Batch members when they were introduced in the Clone Wars Season 7. I really didn't. I thought that they were cool, but when they got their own show announced, I was like, who really cares? You're going to go from the Clone Wars and even Rebels, which I'm a huge fan of, you guys know that, to the like, who even cares? Who are the Bad Batch? And they went from that to being like really, really cool characters that I really care about. So I think this third season in particular has been extremely well written, and I think they might actually really stick the landing here in these next 3 episodes, and it might even push that writing even higher. But right now I give it a solid 9 out of 10, I think. I see an 8.5, 8.5, 9.7, 10 out of 10, 8.8, 9.5. Interesting. Pretty high scores, which is great. That's where we want to be at. That's where we want to be at, for sure. 9. Yeah, 9 could be a 10. I think it could end off being like a 9.5 or even closer to a 10 by the end of this season, for sure. Depends on how they stick the landing. Yeah. 1888 says, has Disney ever killed off a young character like Omega before? Obviously, George Lucas killed off the younglings, but I don't remember a young character actually dying. That's a tough one. There's so much Disney content right now that I'd have to go through my brain really quickly. I'm sure somebody young has to die in Rebels at some point, but I just can't think of who. I really don't know. I mean, you see younglings die even in Kenobi, in the Order 66 flashbacks, in Mando. But do kids actually, like, I don't know if the, like, main character kids die, but we'll see. We'll see. Fearless says, Mike, why are you so fixated on death? That's actually a great question. Why does everybody have to die? That's a great question. I'm not sitting here going, these people are going to die because I want them to die. Obviously, I don't want them to die. But I'm more so saying that the way that this season has gone, since season 2 had Tech's very emotional death at the end, since this season has gone from the start to where we are now, it has been alluding to this very sad end. It is an ending to the Bad Batch. So yes, I'm very fixated on characters' deaths because it's extremely important. Who dies, who survives, what comes after is so unbelievably important because the Bad Batch themselves, Hunter, Wrecker, Echo, Crosshair, and Omega, aren't seen in anything else after this. Not in Rebels, not in the original trilogy, not in Kenobi, not in the Mandoverse. That doesn't mean that they don't survive this show. So my fixation on who survives and who dies is because it's extremely important to what comes next, what the next animated show is going to be, who survives this, and when where do they go? Because they're not in the next thing. So if Crosshair survives, if Wrecker survives, if Echo survives, if Hunter survives, if Omega survives, where are they? That's why I'm so fixated on it, because first of all, it's fun to speculate and predict and who's going to die, who's going to live. All that stuff is fun to do, but it's so important to what comes next that it needs to be talked about. It just needs to be talked about. Yeah. I'm not fixated on who's going to die because I want people to die, obviously, but it's an extremely important conversation to have. Yeah. Mandalorian Legion says, the fact that we have had the Ventress episode tells me that she will most likely survive, because what would be the point of bringing Ventress back unless there was something being planned? Yes. Well, Ventress, the voice actress for Ventress, has already confirmed that there's going to be more Ventress. Like this, she said this is just the appetizer to the return of the character. So there's going to be an entree and probably a dessert for the character of Ventress, meaning that there's probably going to be another show that focuses on Ventress, or at least involves Ventress in some way. Now, at one point, we thought it was going to be Tales of the Jedi Season 2, but now Tales of the Jedi Season 2 has sort of been turned into Tales of the Empire. I think at some point we'll be getting Tales of the Jedi Season 2, but right now it's Tales of the Empire, and Ventress is not involved. So we really don't know how Ventress survived her canon death in Dark Disciple. But I do agree with you. I think there will be a lot more Ventress in a post Bad Batch world. I just don't know if that's going to be an Omega and Ventress show or just a Ventress show. But we'll see. The two lines could be related to Ezra's lines. There were several paths ahead of me. Well, this wasn't the one I wanted to take. It's the one that I had to take. And she has two choices like Grogu had. Interesting. So maybe it's like two different paths. She's talking about two lines, but it's not two lines of dialogue. It's two lines in two directions that Omega could go in. One, she maybe saves her clone brothers, or two, maybe she goes off with Ventress and whatever. I don't know, maybe. So maybe it's a decision that she has to make. Star Wars has always really been about decisions. From the original trilogy with Vader's decision to save Luke and kill Palpatine, or let Palpatine kill Luke and rule the galaxy, to, again, Anakin's decision in the prequel trilogy to chop off Mace Windu's hand and choose the dark side, or arrest Palpatine or kill Palpatine and choose the light side. And we've seen many decisions since Star Wars has been created. Star Wars is a lot about decisions. Obviously, Grogu in the Book of Boba Fett having the decision to join Mando or join Luke's Jedi Temple, and maybe we'll see Omega have to make a very tough decision as well in this finale. Maybe that's what she's referring to. Two different decisions, or two different options, two different lines that she could go off in. But I think she is referring to two different lines of dialogue. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. The math is mathing? No, it wasn't. Oh, you mean it's mathing now? Well, it's mathing until I end the poll, yeah. Don't lecture me, Obi-Wan. I see through the lies of the Jedi. I don't fear the dark side as you do. I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire. Those are the two lines. That's a lot more than two lines, Zap. That's a lot more than two lines.
Incorrect.
B-Man says, can you show us all of your Star Wars stuff behind you? Well, you can kind of see it behind me. It's a lot of pop figures and a lot of cool other things. This used to be behind me, but it's not anymore if you want to see this. Should I just wear this on my head somehow? Should I do the rest of the stream like this? Maybe Michelle got too expensive, so they had to cut her off? I don't think so. I don't think Michelle Ang was worrying about money in this situation here. I don't think so. Daddy Vader will come in. I love that you called him Daddy Vader. Will come in and when you think it would be very emotional because they fought together with General Skywalker, and Vader will also know who the Bad Batch are, so it would be the perfect ending with Vader, in my opinion. That actually would make sense because yes, they did fight alongside of Vader when they first arrived in the Clone Wars season 7. And it does have to do with that final episode's title, which is The Cavalry Has Arrived, which is Wrecker's first line, or any of the Bad Batch's first line in the Clone Wars season 7. So maybe it's alluding to Vader coming back in. They started this whole thing with Vader and Anakin in the Clone Wars, and maybe they'll end this whole thing with Vader in the Bad Batch. It's possible. It's possible. Can I get some good cups follow orders in the chat, please? I got, 60 of you in the chat right now. Can I get 60 good cups follow orders in the chat? 60 different ones. Don't just spam good cups follow orders, please. It's a good cup. Follows orders. Might be the last 2 lines of the Bad Batch, too. Dread Wing, what's up, says, it's interesting that in Season 1 finale of the Bad Batch, Kamino was lost. In Season 2, Tech was lost. And in Season 3, the Bad Batch will lose. Interesting. Yeah. This whole Bad Batch show has just been about loss. In the first season, they lose their home, which was Kamino. Second season, they lose Tech, which was one of their best friends. And they lose Omega because Omega gets captured by the Empire. And in this third season, they might lose everything. They might lose everything, which is crazy. Yeah, good point. B-Man says, oh, I already read that. Zap says, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Shrek Shrek 1. Omega will say that as the 2 lines. Okay. 1888 says, the Bad Batch would have been safe if they just went to Dagobah and chilled with Yoda. What were they thinking? Well, nobody knows that Yoda's on Dagobah, so they couldn't just do that. But yeah, true. Brian Smith, what's up? Brian says Omega will survive and will be hiding from the Empire with other surviving clones. Maybe. I think it's more likely that she'll go off with Ventress, but we'll see. We shall see. Sorry says, did you see the tweet from the Kiners on April 11th? I think it's a spoiler that Wrecker and Hunter will die. What are you guys talking about? He didn't tweet anything on that day. April 11th? He only said burying the what now? That's what he said. He tweeted burying the what now? How does that have to do with Wrecker and Hunter? It says burying the what now? What does that mean? What does that mean? Burying the what now? How does that have to do with Hunter or Wrecker? I don't know. Somebody please tell me. Inform me, please. B-Man says, oh, I already read that. You might have sent it in twice. Do you think it's Crosshair or Cody? Oh, you talking about the clone assassin? All right, let's talk clone assassin as we always have to do on these streams. Who do you think the clone assassin is? Tell me in the chat. Do you think it's Crosshair? A clone of Crosshair. Do you think it's Cody? Do you think it's Tech? Do you think it's somebody else? Who do we think? And I only say it like this because we've been talking about this stupid-ass clone assassin for 8 weeks. Just kidding. I love talking about the clone assassin. You guys know that. Clone assassin is going to be hopefully revealed at some point. Maybe tonight. Who knows at this point? Maybe they'll save it till the finale. Who knows? But I'm still on the path of Commander Cody. Commander Cody for sure. Just the way he uses the vibroblade in the fight against Crosshair on the waterfall in episode 6 or 7, whatever that was. And we saw him use the vibroblade in a very similar way in season 2. Coincidence? I think not. And it'll be very meaningful to Rex if he's the one who ends up killing the clone assassin and he finds out that it's Commander Cody under the mask. And we know that Commander Cody went AWOL in season 2. And obviously most clones that went AWOL from the Empire were just sent to Tantis to have experiments run on them. And Commander Cody's the second most important clone of them all. and his death is going to be an extremely important one that we need to see. So he wouldn't just disappear forever and we'd never find out where he went. That's why I think it's Commander Cody. I'm sticking firm on it until I'm proven otherwise. But tell me who you think the clone assassin is in the chat. What do we think? I see some Codys. I see some nobodies. The nobody would be a disaster. We've been talking about it for so long now that if it's nobody, it'll be pretty tough. Is there going to be a watch party tonight? Yes, there will be at 2:45 a.m. Yeah. Indeed, there will be. Mount Tantiss will just become another mining disaster. Yeah, well, it'll probably be blown up for sure. For sure. As Rampart, we well know that the Empire is corrupt, but will unlikely join any resistance. He has seen how powerful they are with their military forces and the Death Star development in secret. Yeah, Rampart might actually know a lot more than we kind of give him credit for. He might know about certain projects that we don't know about, and we could actually be seeing maybe some of that be revealed in this next episode. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Ghost Joey says they should do Harrison Dula show with Kanan Jarrus. Ooh, like a prequel to Rebels. That'd be kind of cool. And it would just start with Hera and Kanan, and then they would add on Sabine and Zeb and Chopper. Or well, Chopper would already be there. But that'd be cool. Like a pre-Rebels show. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. I still want to see Hera in these final 3 episodes, but that seems highly unlikely at this point. What's up, Damien? JS says, not my favorite choice, but I could live with it. Oh, you're talking about if Omega dies and comes back to life, yeah. Yeah. I'd like to see the exploding heads. What you talking about? I wish they would make a Kanan Jarrus show. That would be kind of interesting, because Kanan we saw in the first episode of The Bad Batch, obviously, of season 1. And from there, him being a kid surviving Order 66, we don't see him until Rebels. So there's a lot of story there for Kanan Jarrus that could be explored. Him meeting Hera, him just surviving on his own before he even meets Hera. That would be kind of cool. And now maybe he could be like an add-on to a Hidden Path show where they keep the Jedi from Order 66 safe in the Hidden Paths. I don't know. When's my next video coming out? Well, it'll be tomorrow after the Bad Batch episode. It'll be a breakdown for the Bad Batch. Probably around 10 a.m., I would guess. Yeah. Eastern Standard Time. Mike, if you knew exactly how the show ended, how would you approach these streams? Oh, I wouldn't be doing them. I would do them, but we wouldn't be talking about the Bad Batch. I don't know. Like, are you talking like if they sent it to me early? Yeah, that'll be tough. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't watch them. If they sent it to me early, I don't think I would watch them. I don't think I would. Because then I'd just be lying to you guys, and that wouldn't really come off as real or anything. Yeah, I don't think I could do that. I couldn't do that. Because if you guys were like, oh, what if this happens? I'd be like, it's gonna happen. If you're like, Omega's gonna die, I was like, you better believe it. You better believe it. Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I would be able to lie to you guys. That would be like impossible. I'd just read a chat and I'd start smiling. I'd be like, no, that doesn't happen. Yeah, I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's possible. Yeah. Officer Murdoch says, we will all just have to live with the ending. Well, obviously. We're all gonna, regardless of the ending, we're going to have to live with it. Whether it's sad, whether it's bad, whether it's good, we're all going to have to live with it. Yeah. So, sorry, says, Kiner's tweet from 411, I think it's hinting at Hunter and Wrecker's death. What does that mean? What does that mean? Force user, but with some experiments. So you think that they're going to make her a Force user, but like it takes a while? Maybe. Maybe. Damn it, just scroll down to the bottom. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh. Damn it. Oh, wait. All right, I think I found it. JS says, I think Omega's Force powers are recessive, meaning she may be strong with the Force, but has no active powers. Well, she needs training, obviously. She can't just wield the Force without any training. Absolutely not. Bryant, what's up? We'd have to see her train with Ventress first before she's actually wielding the Force. Yeah. Brian Smith says, Omega isn't a Force user because she doesn't have a high level of midichlorians. Well, I think she does. And here's why. Yes, she has the ability to transfer high midichlorian count to a Force-sensitive clone without it deteriorating or corrupting the clone or whatever it may be. With it being successful, she has that ability. But in order for her to do that, she has to have some sort of high-ish midichlorian count. And everybody has midichlorians inside them. It's only the level of it and how much training they have if they're able to wield the Force. So I think Omega probably has a pretty medium to high midichlorian count. It's not like Anakin. It's not like Yoda. It's not like Palpatine. It's probably a mid-level midichlorian count, but she needs training to be able to tap into it. Yeah. Darth Wrecker incoming? Oh, no. Yeah, let's see that. Soul says, Omega's not going to die. Cast and crew members say a lot of things that they don't always tell the truth. Blend it or outright lie because they don't want to reveal the grand master plan just like that. Would they? Yeah, no. Obviously, actors lie all the time. And in that article, Michelle Ang might be lying. But she does give a lot of information out, regardless, whether she's lying or not. Fearless says, if she doesn't have a bright future ahead, then why would she be a Force user and go with Ventress? Well, again, Michelle Ang might be lying. So she might have a bright future ahead and she might be going with Ventress. Yeah. Season 2 was crazy. Season 2 was... I guess the finale was crazy. You could say that. Tony says, I still predict that Omega will team up with Ventress in a future series. Otherwise, why did Ventress appear in this show and show interest in Omega? Yeah, I think that episode clearly was setting something up. Yeah, for sure. Skywalker Academy says, Hera gets a French accent back when she's around her dad/family. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Am I correct in saying that season 3 takes place a couple years before Kenobi? Yeah, so Kenobi takes place about 10 years after Order 66, so that would be about 8 years after this. So yeah, a pretty good distance away. Yeah. You would be correct. Rampart will betray them? No. Interesting. He's not going to take them to Tantis. All right, well, if Rampart's going to betray the Bad Batch and not take them to Tantis, then how are they going to get to Tantis? I think Rampart is a smart guy, and he's going to see that the Empire is not going to take him back. So he's probably going to actually help them out. Yeah. Will Mike catch up on chat, yes or no? See, I read some of the bottom chats on my right here, and then I catch up on the chats on my left here. Will I catch up with chat? We'll see. There's a lot of chats to catch up with. I feel like I'm hours behind right now. Brian says, Rampart may turn against the Empire, but he will never join the Resistance. So you think he'll help the Bad Batch a little bit, but he won't join their cause? Yeah, that's probably likely. Yeah. This episode's going to be fire. I hope so. I think so, but I hope so. Soul says, well, he needs to enjoy destroying stuff, so he might help destroy things that belong to the Empire/Mount Tantiss. Rampart does enjoy destroying stuff, as we saw him destroy Tapoka City on Kamino. Yeah. Rose, what's up? Rose says, what if Omega is a Force user, but decides not to go off with Ventress and train? So that's a bigger future that ends up being changed. She decides to go off with the surviving clones instead. That could be something. She could decide to stay on Pabu or something and just mourn her clone brothers. But that would be a waste, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Mandalorian Legion says, The W and H are capitalized, which means Hunter and Wrecker. So you don't think that this was a typo? Oh, okay. I see it. That might be pushing it. This might be pushing it. This might be extreme, but this would be crazy. Burying the what now? And you think this means burying Wrecker and Hunter because the W and the H are capitalized? This might be a stretch. Oh my goodness. This is pretty wild. Who is Hank Hill? Is that from like a show or something? It says Hank Hill's voice. Let's look it up. Hank Hill. Oh yeah, Hank Hill's from, yeah, that's what I thought. So Hank Hill is a fictional character and the main protagonist of King on the Hill. But I don't really know his voice, so I don't know what this is referring to. But that's a stretch, I must say. Even for me, I make some crazy, absolutely crazy predictions and theories. You guys know this. But that seems like a stretch. Bury the what now? And the W and H are capitalized because of Wrecker and Hunter? I mean, maybe. I don't know. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. And if it's true, oh my goodness. That's crazy. Rampart will take the Bad Batch to Eridu, and get the coordinates to Tantis. Oh, that's Tarkin's base. Maybe, because we've seen some clips from the new trailers that look like Tarkin's planet where we saw at the end of Season 2. Maybe. Almighty Table, what's up, says, I wonder if Scorch is a person who Rampart was talking about. Probably not, but what do you guys think? Rampart was talking about having the ability to find Tantis. I don't know if he was talking about a specific person, but I don't think Scorch is going to be turning on the Empire anytime soon. Scorch hasn't, like, given off any traitor-type vibes, you know? This episode's going to be juicy? I hope so. Is there just going to be one more episode left? No, so there's 3 episodes left. We got tonight's episode and then 2 more after this. So we got 3 more episodes. Yeah. Who was it that they rescued last episode? I don't remember. Rampart? What? Rampart. Clone Force 99 is in the chat right now. Do you Clone Force 99, I got a question. Do you guys live at the end of the show or do you die? It won't be them because there are 6 members of them. What? Supernova says, I think Emery is going to give some sort of direction on how Omega and the other kids can escape without them being caught by Hemlock. Yeah, I think Emery's definitely going to help these kids out, help Omega out for sure. The last 2 episodes have really been sort of alluding to that, Emery's turn. I just don't know if Emery's going to survive the end of the show. That's kind of still up in the air for me. Yeah. 1888 says, yeah, they rescued Rampart so they can attempt to find Tantis. Yes, true. Sorry says they wrote bury the what now, and they capitalized W and H, which could be hinting to burying Wrecker and Hunter. I think that's a stretch. I really think that's a stretch, but I love a good stretch. You know me. I love a good stretch. So maybe. Maybe. Soul says, how do you like the behind-the-scenes content? What are you talking about? The Clone Wars was a show revolved around killing kids. What? Oh, I guess because you mean the clones are kids. I understand. They have her blood already. I doubt they need her for much longer. Yeah, but if Mount Tantiss blows up, then all the blood that they have from Omega will be kind of rendered useless, you know? They aren't Task Force 99. That's the Empire's version of the Bad Batch. I just looked it up. Yeah, it is. But it is. Omega will fake her death. It's a possibility. It is a possibility. I don't think they will all die, because remember in Rebels, we all thought that they were going to die, and only one of them died, which was Kanan Jarrus. I believe that the only member that will die will be Crosshair. The rest of them will live, I believe. I think that's a little bit different. I think, yes, Rebels, we all kind of thought they were going to die at the end because they're not really involved in the original trilogy. The Mandoverse didn't exist yet, so obviously we didn't know that they would be involved in that. But Rebels is a little bit different. You had characters like Harrison Dula and Sabine and Zeb that didn't need to be involved in anything else. Yes, Kanan Jarrus died, which was an incredibly emotional thing and in a very, very good end to his character. But the Bad Batch is a little bit different here because of the amount of content that takes place in between now and the original trilogy and the lack of the Bad Batch in that said content. Because right now they are very adamant on fighting against the Empire, saving all these people, and doing all the good things. And so is Rex. And Rex is seen in Rebels, and Rex is seen in other things. Now, I'm not saying just because they aren't seen in these other things that they don't exist in the timeline, but it's more likely that we'll see the end of a couple, if not all, of Clone Force 99, rather than just Crosshair. But I like the theory. I do like the theory. Rampart will not take them to Tantis. He was bait for them for the Empire, and he will lead them into a trap. And that's what the picture means. The Bad Batch will fall right into the trap of the Empire. But then again, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture here. We've gone for 3 seasons. The Bad Batch have known about this mysterious base called Tantis for 2 of these seasons. The audience has known about it for all 3, but the Bad Batch themselves have known about it for 2 seasons. We have only 3 episodes left, and with 3 episodes left, after about 30 episodes of the Bad Batch knowing about this place but not knowing the location, they still don't know the location. We are still, with only 3 episodes left, having the Bad Batch not know the location of Mount Tantiss. So they won't find out until tonight, or maybe even the next night, or maybe next week, or maybe even the next week. They might not find out where Tantis is for 2 whole seasons until the finale. So I think we're kind of running out of time here. I think they finally broke Rampart out of prison, and they're probably getting to this point where they will finally find where Tantis is. But we'll see. Winning says, better than sequels. Sorry, but it is so true. What are you saying? The Bad Batch is better than the sequels? I would probably agree. But, yeah. Yeah. Jyn Erso is like 23, but not a kid. The clones are all like 5. Well, the clones are probably all like 9-ish, but Jyn Erso's 23, not a kid. Yeah, I didn't say that Jyn Erso was a kid. I'm not sure. Were there kids on Alderaan? Well, yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of kids on Alderaan, and they all blew up. Think about that. The first Star Wars movie, supposed to be a kid's movie, you know, blew up billions of people in like one of the first scenes when they blew up Alderaan. Yeah. Younglings die in the Clone Wars when Ahsoka is kidnapped and taken to the hunting planet. Yeah, but that's before Disney bought it. Clone Force 99 says, same thing with Rebels, and we didn't see any of them in the OG, and they ended up living in the Mandalorian. True. Very true. So it's possible that they don't have to die. Yeah. Yeah, Maul slaughters an entire village. That's true, too. The Bad Batch are all go and chill with Yoda on Dagobah and eat some stew until the Empire Strikes Back, but then they're not on Dagobah in the Empire Strikes Back. So what's up with that? What's up with that? Yeah. What if Tech is the assassin and Omega says, "You were my brother, Tech. I loved you." That would be awesome. I don't think Tech is the clone assassin, but we'll see. We'll see. JS says, I think that Crosshair came back to the Bad Batch is a clone of the original, and I bet the real Crosshair did fall to the reconditioning of the clone assassin program. Might explain that Crosshair has bad hands. I don't think so. I don't think they had time to make a clone of Crosshair. They only really had him for like 150 days. There's really no way that they could have done that. Yeah. 2 billion people on Alderaan? Damn. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. I appreciate the good cops follow orders. No, Vader doesn't have a Scooby-Doo about Tantis. What? Doesn't give a Scooby-Doo? But what? What are you talking about? This is the way it says, Omega will fake her death. And so the Empire and the Bad Batch won't look for her. And only the... Wait. Only the ones who care about her, which is the Bad Batch, who would always try to keep her protected. She fakes her death. I agree with you, I think. I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. Americans don't say Scooby. Scooby-Doo, like the dog? What are we talking about here? What are we even talking about here? All right. Who do you guys think the clone assassin is? Maggie says no one. We got a Cody. We got a clone assassin's no one. Commander Cody, nobody. Cody. Interesting. It's either Cody or Tech, but it's probably Cody. Nice. There's probably multiple clone assassins. Well, there are multiple clone assassins. We already saw 2 of them die in season 2 and in season 3. And this is the 3rd one. But this 3rd one's very important. He's been around for quite a while. But there are more on the way, as we saw in the last couple episodes as well. Yeah. Oh no, just go down to the bottom. Damn it. The clone assassin is Hemlock / Crosshair clone. Remember their hands, folks? I think there's a lot of information that's going to come out about Hemlock and his holding of his left hand with the black glove on it all the time. And then there's probably going to be some more information revealed to us about Crosshair and why he's got the shaky hands. Because there's still a lot of mystery about his time on Tantis and about Hemlock himself. So we'll see about that. Bryant says, there seems to be a lot of good stories between episode 3 and 4, Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. I still hope to see something between episode 1 and 2. Oh, like Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones? Yeah, there's a lot of story there that could be told in between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. That's a pretty big gap because we see Anakin go from 9 in the Phantom Menace to about 19. So it's about a 10-year gap in between those 2 movies. And we could see a lot in that. So maybe, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Getting to see some content in between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, that'd be awesome. Damien says, remember after the Bad Batch, we can all watch Tales of the Empire. I know. We're living great right now as Star Wars fans. We got 3 more episodes of this Bad Batch season. Then you got Tales of the Empire on the 4th. You got The Phantom Menace being re-released into theaters on the 3rd. And then the next month, June 4th, is the start of The Acolyte, which is the next show. So we're really living life right now as Star Wars fans. So cannot complain. Definitely can't complain. I want a Clan Ren show. A toddler Sabine visiting Tar Vizsla's statue with her dad and whatnot. Well, that would be a very short show. But, yeah. Yeah. This is the way says, does everyone live tonight? I say yes. I think everyone will probably make it through tonight's episode, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like a minor character die. And I don't mean that by age. I mean that by like status in the show. Rampart could die tonight. I wouldn't be surprised by that, but we'll see. Yeah. I always wanted more Cody. Me too. And I hope we'll get that. Maria, what's up? Maria says, I think Tarkin gets all the credit. I could see that. If Hemlock dies, Tarkin is probably going to take all the credit. That's what he's known for. He takes all the credit for the Death Star, takes all the credit for everything. So why not? Give him some more credit. John Groom says, it's not just M count. As Ahsoka said, talent is a factor. Like football, you could be fit and strong, but still bad at the sport. True. You can get all the training in the world and still not be able to be good at wielding the Force, but you might be able to pick up an object. Yeah, kind of. There's a lot that goes into being able to wield the Force, that's for sure. Yeah. And Maggie, I just caught up to your chat, so I didn't catch up on the whole chat, but I caught up to that. Here comes the cavalry the cavalry has arrived is obviously alluding to the return of Sid. Oh, great. Great. Rose says, Rampart is in his own element, means that he's going to impersonate an Imperial officer and BS his way onto an Imperial base. It could be Scarif, or more likely Iridu, so he could stick it to Tarkin. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, it's probably what it's referring to, is Rampart going back to his own element, which is, of course, being an Imperial officer. Yeah. Is that really Sid's full name? is Sid's full name really Sidderin Scaleback? If the wait, what? Hang on. If this is a lie, I'm gonna be so mad. I don't think it exists. No freaking way. Oh my goodness. Her name is Sidderin Scaleback.
This is where the fun begins.
This is the greatest thing ever. Oh my goodness. This makes me... Alright, here's my thing. It's a love-hate relationship with Sid. I hate her because she turned in the Bad Batch, but you gotta love this name. Oh my god, this is her actual name? This is the greatest thing in Star Wars canon. Confirmed. Like, there's some great stuff that's happened in Star Wars history. Like, the greatest thing. Like, there's some amazing things that happen in Star Wars. This is the greatest thing. Like, you can have Obi-Wan versus Anakin on Mustafar. That's great. Sure, whatever. But this is way better. This name is the greatest name in all of Star Wars. Oh, my God. I didn't know that? No, I didn't know this. Oh my god. That's Sid's name in the racing episode? We learned this in the racing episode? How did I miss this? I hate Sid. Me too. I hate Sid too. But this is awesome. This is fantastic. This just made my whole entire day. I can go to sleep happy now, knowing that this is her name. Maggie says, Will Huff Tarkin. Yeah, so Tarkin's first name is actually Will Huff, which is also great. But that's incredible. That is fantastic. Yeah. It's sit-in time. Oh, no. Omega should fake her death so that the Empire stops looking for her. It's possible that could happen. Yeah, for sure. Rebels is special. Rebels is great. Rebels is great. Alex, what's up? Intrigued for Rampart's information. Yeah, I can't wait to see what Rampart's up to. Oh, Catherine, what is up? Yeah. Do you think the Bad Batch is a success to Disney, or was it a flop? I love it, but I'm just curious how the general public feels about it. I think it's going to be seen as a success. I know that the animated stuff for Star Wars doesn't do nearly as well as the live action stuff, but there's a lot of a very big portion of the Star Wars fandom that is very invested in the animated stuff. That is Rebels, Clone Wars, Bad Batch. And those are the hardcore fans that spend the most money on Star Wars. They love Star Wars the most. They sit here on a live stream for 2 hours every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday talking about Star Wars. Those are the people that are the real fans of Star Wars, I believe. Not to say that people who don't watch everything aren't real fans, but I'm saying that the more hardcore fans. And those people are the ones that they want to enjoy their content the most. So if these people like the Bad Batch, which I think a lot of us do like the Bad Batch, then I think they see it as a win. I don't think it costs them too much to create the Bad Batch, so it's possible that it's like a win for them. Yeah, we'll see. Edmund Rampart, is that his first name? That's not that weird. That's pretty good, though. Wildcats, what's up, says, is Hunter going to die? I hope not, but it looks very likely. Alex says, next episode we sure going to get a cliffhanger with the Bad Batch in the atmosphere of Wayland. Yeah, I think tonight's episode and probably the next episode as well are probably going to be two pretty big cliffhangers. That's for sure. Yeah. Animation is generally less popular than live action. Yeah, it is. But that's too bad because some of the best Star Wars content is in animation. And some people just can't get past the animating style of the early seasons of the Clone Wars or even Rebels itself. But it's literally where some of the best stories of Star Wars are from. Yeah. I think tonight's episode is going to be the start of the finale. Yeah, I think it's going to be like a final arc type deal. Yeah. I'm not ready if Hunter's going to die. It's going to be pretty sad. The two final episodes in my theory will be both on Wayland. I can see that. Yeah. I could see that. Senor Mula says, I have a strong feeling that the clone assassin is a clone of Jango Fett. Well, they're all clones of Jango Fett. Or was that the joke? Yeah. Yes. I think the new clone assassin will have robotic parts. I think we could be seeing some more clone assassins. I think maybe a big reveal will be that there will be more clone assassins in these final couple episodes. And it'll be like sort of the Dark Troopers showing up in The Mandalorian Season 2. It'll be a pretty big problem for the Bad Batch. Yeah. Force users sometime is a far future, but Omega being a Force user sometime in the far future, but not right now. I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. It would be interesting if Crosshair were to live. It would be interesting, but he's really on this trajectory of he's going to make a sacrifice play. And in the trailer, obviously, he says that if we all go in there, we're not all making it out. And it's probably him that's not making it out. I think Crosshair's shaky hands is PTSD. Yeah, but we don't really know from what. We know he was tortured on Tantis, but we don't know like what experiments were really done on him and how that was sort of how that affects him. Tarkin shouldn't know about Tantis and their operations. Well, he does. We find out that he does in the last couple episodes where he has the conversation with Rampart. Maybe he doesn't know the location of Tantis specifically, but he does know that stuff's going down there. Yeah. Yes, that's Sid's full name. We see it in the racing episode. That's crazy. That's crazy. This is where the fun begins. Indeed it is. Rampart's element is outmaneuvering others, especially the Empire. He's out for revenge. I don't trust him, but he has a lot of skills. I don't trust him to like help the Bad Batch take over Tantis, but I do trust him to not go back to the Empire and turn them in. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Droopy McCool actually is somebody in Star Wars? What? Good point. I can see Rampart having a role in this final arc. Yeah, he has to because he's going to be the one who helps them find Tantis. Who's my favorite Bad Batch character? That's a great question. I would have to go with Crosshair. Just because of his arc in the first 2 seasons is probably the most intriguing of any of the characters in the first 2 seasons. And then even in season 3, I don't like his arc as much, but it is still good. So I'd go with Crosshair. Total Crosshair. But Omega's probably close second, honestly. I prefer animation to live action in general myself. I prefer live action, but I do love the animation stuff. Yeah. I wish Thrawn was actually involved in the Bad Batch, because Tantis really came from the Thrawn books, being with the clone being created of Thrawn himself. I wonder how Timothy Zahn feels about this. I want to see Thrawn come to Tantis, or at least somehow know where Tantis is, and then see him come to a destroyed Tantis in live action in the Mandalorian. But I don't know if we'll see that because we're running out of time. We're just running out of time now, so yeah. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But guess what? I just caught up with chat, so now we can finally move on to something that isn't Bad Batch related. Now, we will be going back to the Bad Batch, so of course, throw your craziest predictions into the chat for this next episode as we are about to hit 2 hours. Absolutely insane. But let's go to the other news that we have that isn't Bad Batch related right now, okay? So as I finally caught up on the chat, let's switch gears a little bit here to some other Star Wars news, and then we'll come back to the Bad Batch at the end of the stream, okay? Don't worry about it, Alex. I appreciate you. 2 hour stretch. All right, let's stretch. That was a great stretch, actually. Whew, needed that. All right, let's talk about this. So, a little bit of news here with a Star Wars and Fortnite collab. This is coming on May 3rd for Star Wars weekend. May the 4th, of course, but Star Wars weekend. So this is coming from Bespin Bulletin. A new Star Wars event taking place in Fortnite on May 3rd. Chewbacca, a new Leia skin, and a rumored Cantina band. So we won't read into this too much, but you can get some new Star Wars Fortnite skins on May the 4th for you gamers out there. That's pretty cool. So we're getting a Star Wars Fortnite collab again on May 3rd for Star Wars weekend. But now we actually have some Acolyte news. So why is it so small here? Let's switch over to the Acolyte here for a second. The Acolyte aims to beat the Phantom Menace lightsaber duels. Now we know how difficult that is because, let's be honest, one of the greatest fights in all of Star Wars, lightsaber-wise, is Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan in The Phantom Menace. I am ridiculously excited. I've got my tickets for The Phantom Menace on May 3rd, Friday night, to go see it in the theaters because I have not had the ability to watch The Phantom Menace in theaters. Tell me in the chat, have you guys got your tickets to go see The Phantom Menace in the theaters if you're going? But the Acolyte is aiming to beat this lightsaber duel. This is one of the best lightsaber duels in all of Star Wars, and the Acolyte is trying to beat it. The cast and crew of the Acolyte are putting a lot of importance in their lightsaber fights. Fantastic. A lot of people's complaints with Disney Star Wars is the lack of really, really in-depth lightsaber duels. And the Acolyte might really give us a lot of those because there's a lot of Jedi at the time and we could see a lot of cool lightsaber duels. Daphne Keane, who is the girl from the Logan movie, the Wolverine movie, she's now in the Acolyte, has gone on record saying that they want to film a lightsaber duel that was superior to the Duel of the Fates fight sequence between Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace. So speaking with Entertainment Weekly, Keane stated her belief that it was the most iconic lightsaber fight in the saga, which I disagree with. I think Obi-Wan versus Anakin on Mustafar is a lot more iconic, but you tell me in the chat, what's the most iconic lightsaber duel in all of Star Wars? What do we think? What is it? What do we think? I'd have to go with Obi-Wan versus Anakin. I mean, it's the most quotable thing ever. I have the high ground. Don't try it. You were my brother, Anakin. The whole beginning part. For democracy. I'll do it. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. It's probably the most quoted thing in Star Wars, other than obviously, no, I am your father. Yeah, you guys think Mustafar? But I mean, obviously the Duel of the Fates is pretty iconic. But when it comes to the most iconic, what do we think? Death Star duel. That, I mean, you could, for most iconic, you could say that. Yeah. Because it was the first. But maybe. All right, this is what she had to say. Yeah. That was a very frequent conversation that we had. It was very much we wanted to top the Darth Maul fight, the most iconic fight, I think, in the Star Wars cinematic universe. It's such an amazing fight, and we were all so excited about the lightsaber fights. There is such a skill and a craft to it that it feels so OG Star Wars and feels so impressive when you see it as a viewer. Obviously, we love seeing a good lightsaber fight. It was my favorite part of filming. I loved the whole training process of it, meaning that she herself is going to be wielding a lightsaber. Everyone was very excited about it, which then made it even more fun. Our incredible stunt team created this kind of fusion of different martial arts, and we're really trained in how to use a lightsaber. I feel very comfortable with the sword now, and I know that Charlie does too. Charlie Chapman or whatever his name is, he's also going to be wielding a lightsaber, and I know that JJ does too. I don't know who JJ is. JJ Abrams, is he going to be a Jedi in this show? Just kidding. We were all in there for hours a day training, and it was really fun. It was really fun to kind of explore also a different side of the characters within the fighting. So this is pretty cool. This is really telling us that there's going to be a lot, hours a day training, a lot of lightsaber duels in this Acolyte show. And that's what we want to see. A lot of Jedi, a lot of lightsabers, a lot of duels. That's what we want to see, which is great. This is Daphne Keane's character right here. It's kind of a cool looking alien creature. We've never really seen this with the horns like that. Interesting. But that's her character right there. Not really much about it. She's a Padawan, Jedi Padawan named Jecki Lone, and will be in the Acolyte. An interesting point that Daphne Keane made was that the lightsaber duels seem to be based on characters. Interesting. This is what she has to say. you can show a different aspect of your character. I feel like the way that JJ's character fights and the way that my character fights are completely different. Now, obviously, in Star Wars, different characters have different sort of lightsaber styles and lightsaber combat. What's the word I'm looking for here? Forms was the word I was looking for, as there's different forms of lightsaber combat. So she's saying here that different characters obviously use different forms, but it sort of fits their character, the way that they wield a lightsaber. Now, we see this all the time with the way that Anakin is very aggressive with his lightsaber combat, and Obi-Wan's is more defensive. It's going to be seen a lot more in this Acolyte show as well. And also within the way that Charlie's character fights, I found a lot of Jeki's repressed parts within her fighting. Then they also come out in her fight scenes, and as someone who really enjoys doing stunts and getting to learn a new skill, it was just really fun and such a privilege. The young actress also revealed that there was a similar problem with a young Ewan McGregor when he first filmed The Phantom Menace, in that she found accidentally made the lightsaber sounds while moving with her mouth while filming. So this is a very well known fact that in the prequel trilogy, Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson, when they were filming The Phantom Menace, were going ksh, 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 when they were fighting with their lightsabers, as one does. It's most likely what anybody would do if they had the chance to film a lightsaber scene in Star Wars. They'd be out there going ksh, ksh, whoosh, whoosh. Like, we would all be doing that, let's be honest. But Daphne Keane had a very similar thing where she said, I got told off for doing it quite a bit, because the first few times you do it and you'd be like, you need to stop doing that. And also I just kept smiling because of where she was. I was just so excited. And they kept having to come up to me and be like, Daphne, you need to stop smiling. You're fighting somebody. And I was like, oh yeah, sorry. It's just a lot of fun. So obviously that is going to be very cool to see all of those lightsaber duels on June 4th. It's absolutely insane. We are in the midst of the end of this Bad Batch series, which is great, and we get to predict it. We get to have a lot of fun with this. But we don't realize that Tales of the Empire is 3 days after the finale of this Bad Batch Season 3. And then exactly 1 month later is the start of the next live-action Star Wars show, The Acolyte. It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. So we are really living well right now as Star Wars fans, and the fact that Daphne Keane is talking all about these crazy lightsaber duels that they tried to one-up the Phantom Menace's Duel of the Fates absolutely sounds fantastic. I know a lot of people are upset about The Acolyte and what's being said by the cast members and Leslie Headland, and how they're kind of focusing on the wrong things behind the scenes. But this sounds fantastic to me. Focusing on great lightsaber duels, I can't wait. I'm really excited for The Acolyte. I really, really am. Now tell me in the chat, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for The Acolyte show? Are we excited? On a scale of 1 to 10. What do we think? I would say I'm about at a 9. Tales of the Empire, I'm at a 10. Easily 10. These next 3 episodes of The Bad Batch, I'm at a 10. I'm at a 9 right now. Maybe when it gets closer, I'll get a little bit higher. But where are we at? Where are we at? I see a couple 8s, a 7, a 10, what is that, a quadrillion? Something like that. 10 and 8, another 8. Interesting. So around an 8, 7. Yeah. Maybe as it gets closer and we get more trailers and more information about the show. I mean, if you just watch the trailer, you get really excited. A 9.9, a 9. Yeah. I think when you watch the trailer, you get really excited. Who's the Sith Lord that grabs that lightsaber at the end? Who is that? How are they fighting off like 8 Jedi at the same time? We're going to be seeing a lot of lightsaber duels in this show. That's going to be pretty cool. It's a Sith-centered show. I mean, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait. The Acolyte's going to be really, really cool. And as soon as the Bad Batch ends and the Tales of the Empire ends, it's the next thing. So we're going to be very, very excited for it. And we're going to get hyped up for about 3 or 4 weeks as we get closer and closer and closer. We're going to be predicting what's going to happen. How does a Sith show up without the Jedi knowing about the Sith? All that stuff. So I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited. It's hard to ignore the negativity. It is hard to ignore the negativity, but there's a ton of negativity in the Star Wars fandom. That's just how it is. So I'm always going to talk about The Acolyte, and we can talk about the negative stuff, but the goal of this community here is to talk about the positive stuff in the Star Wars galaxy and in the Star Wars universe and not really focus on the negative stuff. We can talk about the negative stuff if it is the actual utmost importance when it comes to this stuff, but it isn't. Right now, The Acolyte is a brand new show. We can't talk about how we view it until we viewed it. You know what I'm saying? You kind of got to go in with an open mind. I'm excited for the show, but until I see that first episode and make my own opinion about it, I can't really see it. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm absolutely excited for The Acolyte. I can't wait. Yeah. Alex says, I would like some lightsaber fights like the ones from the Old Republic trailers. Those were so sick. Yeah, so the Old Republic cinematic trailers are very, very cool. And the lightsaber duels in them are amazing, but that's all animated. Those aren't like live action fights. And not that they can't make cool animated fights as well. We've seen amazing animated fights in Rebels and in Clone Wars with lightsabers, that is. I think it's likely that we will be getting that sort of level of lightsaber duels in the Acolyte show. I have high hopes. I do have high hopes, and that actually made me even have higher hopes. Yeah. Rose says, we appreciate you, Mike. Thanks for being so positive. Well, Rose, I wouldn't be so positive if it wasn't a time to be positive. I've been negative before. If I don't like something, I'm going to voice that opinion. But I appreciate it. It's about positivity around here, and even when you have a negative opinion or don't like something, you have to have an open mind for somebody who does like it, you know? Salty, what's up? Says, if Yoda is in the Acolyte, all I want is for that character to be respected. I agree, but Yoda is a character like a Boba Fett, where he doesn't have much screen time, and he's an elusive character. You don't really know if Yoda's really all there. When he's in The Empire Strikes Back, he doesn't want to train Luke. He's too old. Yoda's not really the best sort of Jedi. He survived for 800 years. He's a fan favorite character. He's a little frog dude that jumps around. He's great. But he's not really the best type of, mentor, to say the least. Yeah. The Bad Batch is about to be emotional in these... wait. What? The Bad Batch about to be emotional. THI? It's been in 3 years it started? What? I don't know what that means. But yes. Yes. Omega will use the Force because the Force is... oh, Jesus Christ. I can't wait for Sabine to use the Force in front of Shin. Yeah, that would be a big surprise, for sure. I can't wait to see Sabine use the Force again so that everybody just loses their minds because they just don't understand it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want them to reveal the planet that he's from either. Yeah, Yoda is a big mystery, and that's kind of why people like him as well. So I hope they don't really, they don't reveal that. Yeah, me too. Alex says, who do you think the mysterious Sith is in The Acolyte? Well, I made a full-on video about this. I don't know specifically, but it could be just the girl May from the trailer, the new character. Now, maybe she goes off and trains with a Darth Tenebris or a Darth Plagueis. We've seen this multiple times throughout Star Wars, especially in the prequel trilogy, where a Sith has multiple apprentices. Palpatine has Maul first in The Phantom Menace, then he has Count Dooku in Attack of the Clones, and then he has Anakin in Revenge of the Sith. Even Dooku has Asajj Ventress, then he has Savage Opress. So there's... each Sith Lord has multiple apprentices. Not really at the same time, but he also has... multiple apprentices throughout the course of him being a master. So it's possible that Tenebris, before he had Plagueis, has this girl. Or Plagueis, before he has Palpatine, has this girl as an apprentice. So maybe it's her. Or maybe it's Tenebris. Or maybe it's Plagueis. Or maybe it's a new Sith Lord. But what I have heard Leslie Headland say about this show that is positive is that she took from Legends. She is a person who loves Legends a lot like Dave Filoni. They grew up in the same time where Legends material was what was coming out because there was no current canon Star Wars being created. So all they had to do was take from the extended universe or Legends, whatever you want to call it. And she's going to be taken from that, meaning Darth Plagueis, meaning Darth Tenebris, and all those cool things from there. So I think we're going to see some combinations of new characters and Legends characters in this Acolyte show. So to answer your question, who do I think this Acolyte, the Sith in the trailer is? I have no freaking clue. But it could be May, Plagueis, Tenebris, any of them. Yeah. I'd also like to see Grievous versus 6 Jedi at the same time in the 2003 Clone Wars show. Yeah, that's pretty good too. That's pretty good too. Rowan, what's up? Rohan? Is it Rohan? Maybe. Hello from the UK. Do you think that season 3 ending will link to Rogue One or the Andor show? Maybe, but probably not directly. You won't see like Mon Mothma or Bail Organa unless we go back to Coruscant, but I doubt it. But it could have an indirect effect on those shows. Maybe. Andor is the best live-action Star Wars by far. Well, that's a objective opinion, but it is very good. I'll give you that. It's not my favorite, particularly. It's a word. Look it up. Particularly, but it is very good. I have Ahsoka over it. I have Mando over it, but it is probably in that 3-4 slot. It is very good. Yeah. Wildcat says Daphne Keane was in her Dark Materials. What? I'm confused. Andor should get a season 2 ASAP. Well, Andor season 2 comes out next year. Early next year is when Andor season 2 will come out. I'm looking forward to season 2 because I think season 2 could take off where season 2 obviously left off. But what season 1 missed is what season 2 will take into effect. The stuff of like how the Empire is really working on the Death Star and not how it really affects Cassian Andor specifically. I want to see Krennic. And I want to see Krennic and how he creates the Death Star. I want to see more of Galen Erso. And obviously it's going to lead right into the Rogue One, so I want to see some more of that too. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe during the downtime before the Acolyte, you could do watch parties for Resistance. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. I got a lot of ideas brewing for stuff that we can cover that isn't current Star Wars stuff during live streams and obviously during videos and stuff. Yeah, but that's all coming. Somehow Palpatine arrives instead of survives in the Acolyte. That'd be kind of cool. Brandon Baker says, I think it's a different Sith from that time, in my opinion. I think so too, but they have to be related to either Tenebris or Plagueis because there's only supposed to be 2 Sith at the same time. Yeah. I've watched Resistance a couple months ago. It's actually pretty good. Really. I might have to check it out then. I know it's only 2 seasons, I think, so what are you going to do? Wildcat says, what lightsaber would you have? Like, do I want to buy in real life? That's a tough one. I want them all, but Count Dooku's is cool with the curved hilt. I like obviously the OG Anakin's Skywalker saber, the Youngling Slayer 9000. I don't know. I like so many of them. I got Obi-Wan's right behind me, obviously right here, and it's pretty damn cool. If I do say so myself, this is from Revenge of the Sith. His saber, pretty damn cool. That's pretty cool. I don't know. Ahsoka's are cool. There's just so many cool ones that I can't pick just one, you know? Yeah, no? All right, let's end this poll. All right, we're going to get on out of here in just a second. So drop any of your craziest final predictions for this Bad Batch 13th episode, Into the Breach, coming up tonight. Or forever. Hold your peace, I guess. Will Omega ever use the Force? 65% of you say yes. The math is not mathing, but 34% of you say no, with 91 votes on that one. That's crazy. So that's the majority of you do think yes, you will be using the Force at some point after this. So, of course, drop your final predictions for this 13th episode or forever be wrong about it, I guess. The math ain't mathing once again. No, it is not. No, it is not. I have Dooku's. It's nearly impossible to hold it right. Yeah. I want, like, all the Galaxy's Edge, like, obviously real screen accurate replica one. Like, this thing is heavy. It's hefty. It's like really what they kind of spin around here. It's screen accurate, obviously. I want all of these. I know that's a lot and it would cost a lot of money, but I want them. This thing actually turns off, and then you put the blade in. Because obviously the blade doesn't fit through this tiny skinny thing, so you have to replace the head of it, you know? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Catherine says, I watched Resistance a few episodes. They were okay. Interesting. Fearless says, yes, his son plays the main character. Yeah, the guy from Ahsoka. So there is some ties to Resistance in live action with Ahsoka. Yeah. Maggie says, Rampart will take them to Tantis. Will not take them to Tantis, sorry. He was just baiting them for the Empire, and he will lead them into a trap. That's what the picture meant, and the Bad Batch will fall right into the trap. But then how are they going to get to Tantis? Like, we only have 3 episodes left here. How are they going to get to Tantis? How is that all going to happen in just 3 episodes left? What do we think? General Grievous says, I've been trained in your Jedi arts by Count Dooku. Yeah, you were. That's true. It's going to be crazy. That's all I can predict. I agree with that. Von Go, what's up, Von Go, says, I love Ezra's lightsaber. Ooh, which one? His old one with the blaster on it or the new one? Do you have Ezra's lightsaber? No, I don't. Oh, the blaster saber? I don't. Jay says, I like the theory that since Tech always recorded things in his goggles, and the footage might be shed some light on them to find some coordinates. Ooh, interesting. So they're going to go back to Tech's goggles. That's pretty good. I like that. Who said they're getting to Tantis? Well, they have to get to Tantis to blow it up in the finale. You know? All right, final question of the day. If you could have one lightsaber from Star Wars, a real, like, actual replica lightsaber, which one would it be and why? Or I guess not and why, but just which one would it be? Whose character's lightsaber do you want the most? By the way, guys, by the time we get to 100,000 subscribers, which is very far away, we'll be doing giveaways, obviously, for that live stream. I'm working on something pretty big here that we could do a lightsaber giveaway, but I'm going to keep that a secret for a little while. But once we get to a certain point with the memberships, once we get to a certain amount of members on the channel, of course, join as a member or join the Discord in the description below. There's an awesome, cool Discord in below. Then we'll be able to give away a lightsaber. So we do a giveaway at the end of every month. For every member, you get a chance to win this giveaway. And the giveaways are pretty small right now. They're pop figures, they're t-shirts, they're all this stuff. But once we get to a certain extent, to a certain level, then we can start doing some bigger giveaways. And I'm thinking lightsabers, I'm thinking helmets like the Boba Fett helmet right behind me. I'm thinking droids like the chopper behind me. I'm thinking big things that you guys really, really want. So, yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at. Yeah. Anakin's lightsaber, Vader's lightsaber, Anakin's lightsaber. I'd have to say Anakin's lightsaber. It seems like you all want Anakin's lightsaber. The turquoise lightsaber? What are you talking about? Sabine's saber. Ooh, interesting. Sabine doesn't have her own saber. You mean Ezra's saber? Or the dark saber? Yeah. Maggie says, not a member anymore. Sadly, it was a fun month. Well, maybe you get another gifted one, Maggie. Or maybe someday you'll be able to join yourself. The General Grievous says, I have Dooku's lightsaber. That would be cool. Or I'm having Dooku's lightsaber. That would be cool. Dooku's is a cool one. Ventress's yellow one. Ooh, Ventress's yellow one's pretty sick. The dark saber. Dark saber's really cool. Plus, it's just so different than every other one, you know? I forget the Jedi who had the turquoise lightsaber. Turquoise? Do you just mean like light blue, or do you mean actually like turquoise? Let's look it up. Jedi with turquoise. How the hell do you spell turquoise? Turquoise lightsaber. It's definitely not how you spell turquoise, but Tele K DJ. What? Talking about this? I don't know what you're talking about. That's actually a sick lightsaber handle, though. Is this what you're talking about? Because this is really cool. It literally looks like a tooth of something. Is this what you're talking about? Because that's pretty sick. Nub's blue one. There you go. Ahsoka's 2 lightsabers. Those are pretty cool, too. Yeah. Ezra Bridger's older one. Yeah, with the blaster on it. That one's sick. Mace's purple one. Okay, yeah, Mace's one's cool. Rey's. Honestly, though, Rey's, as much crap as Rey as a character gets, Rey's lightsaber is so sick. The yellow one that, like, switches between all colors when you're turning it on, it's, like, part of her... like, her lightsaber is so cool. As much hate as Rey gets as a character, her lightsaber is sick. Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. All right, I think we can get on out of here. We've passed the 2 hour and... holy... we're almost at 2.5 hours. What the heck? Okay. We're going to get on out of here. This has been quite the stream, I must say. This was crazy. I can't wait for this episode tonight. I think we got a lot of cool predictions down, and maybe we'll get some something cool, too, moving forward. Watch over the breakdown video tomorrow. If you're not coming to the live stream, the watch party, that's at 2:45 a.m. Watch over the breakdown video tomorrow at 10 a.m. Let's get that live stream that breakdown video getting a lot of views. Let's do it. Smash a like on this stream if you have not yet. Hit subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video. And my pretty face will show up the recommended feed of yours. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate all of you. I love seeing all the familiar faces in the chat. I love seeing all the new faces in the chat. We hit over 70 people at the same time in today's chat. It was amazing. So I appreciate all of you. Yeah, we had 46,000 subscribers just the other day. Another banger stream. It really was. Yeah, what a great stream. What a great show. Wow, we are getting very, very close to 50,000 subscribers. We're going to have to do something special for that stream. 50,000 is absolutely insane. We're at 46 right now, so we're probably coming close to it within the next couple weeks, I would guess. So yeah, watch out for that. And may the force be with you. Always. Oh yeah, what a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate all you guys being here for the entire 2.5 hours. It's absolutely insane. I appreciate it more than you will ever know. But yeah, what a great stream. What a great show. I can't wait for this 13th episode. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow in the breakdown video and in the watch party, of course. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Great rest of your lives. And good night, everybody.